Welcome to DAX Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us on another edition of DAX Machina. We're coming to you tonight a little sadder than we would like to be, because tonight we're taking some time to talk about the loss of one of our own, Kerry Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. Such an incredible guy. We're going to start out tonight dedicating this show to him and to the legacy he's left behind. How's everybody doing tonight? You guys doing okay?
Doing good.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hanging in there.
Well, I hate to start this out on such a dark note, but it is truly a blow to our entire community to lose one of our own, especially someone that has done so much in this field. I've prepared I've been thinking all day about what I wanted to say. I thought about it a lot all night. I didn't sleep well, and I've had this foremost on my mind, and so I sat down and I wrote something. I mean, that's kind of what writers do, and I wanted to get my thoughts coherent because I was afraid that if I tried it just off the cuff, that one, I would either not be able to keep it together, or two, I would ramble and kind of lose my train of thought, and I didn't want to do that. So if you guys kind of bear with me, I've got a prepared statement I want to read, and we'll kind of go from there. So thank you, guys. What can I say about Kerry that hasn't already been said? He was a good man, he was a loving family man, a true friend, and a great person to enjoy conversations with on pretty much any subject. We could spend an hour just talking about the things we loved about Kerry, but I'll leave that to the people that knew him the best. I was proud to have been on his show on more than one occasion, and equally proud that he joined us here on ours. This show, our DAX Machina family, has grown to be more than the sum of its parts. Kerry helped make that happen. His advice was always genuine and thoughtful. He gave me so much guidance about the show and how we looked for clues and about our favorite cryptid. You could see the emotion on his face when he told me about his encounter. It shook him to the core, and he never hunted again. To me, that was powerful. His story has touched so many of us. I know that the entire cast, crew, and family at Bigfoot Odyssey are devastated at this incredible loss. It's staggering to know just how many lives he touched. To all the family at Bigfoot Odyssey, we're here for you. Our family is your family. If there's anything we can do, please let us know. Kerry's kind demeanor and genuine approach to people will be missed deeply by all of us who knew him. We dedicate tonight's show to his memory, and we'll never forget everything he did for us and the field of Bigfoot research. Kerry would be the first to say, "I'm not a researcher." He was famous for saying that. Maybe that's true, but his words and his support helped shape all of our approaches to this subject. There won't be an episode that we'll ever do again without touching on something he either shared with us or helped us learn on our own. Generations of future field researchers will feel his impact on this field. To Kerry's family, I say this: we're praying for you all and the profound loss that you're feeling. We are all genuinely sorry for your loss. While we may not share the depth of the loss, know that we feel it with you. Kerry impacted the lives of so many people, and everyone he touched will miss him. Not only his personal life, but in those who knew him through the research and the love of his podcast. We'll share our grief and mourn the loss of one of our own. May God embrace him and his family and keep him safe in that next great mystery. Kerry dedicated himself to furthering the knowledge of Bigfoot and, by extension, other cryptids. He would want us to carry on in his name with the tools he gave us and the spirit he poured into finding the truth. So tonight, we dedicate this show to Kerry Arnold. We'll miss you, my friend.
Well said, Coop.
I know some of you are just finding this out now. I found out yesterday, and I was pretty shocked by it. Doc just found out just right before that we came on the air. I forgot to reach out to him. Should have told him, but I had a million other things on my mind, and I apologize that I didn't let you know in advance, Doc.
Sorry, brother.
All
All right.
he was a lot of fun to talk to. His appearances on our show were awesome. I had a blast doing his show, and he's a hell of a guy, and he will be deeply missed. I may have to get something a little stronger than Coca-Cola.
Right your way, brother.
What was that?
It's probably my dog moving in the crate.
Well, sorry, I'm trying to get my train of thought together. I know a lot of you guys know Kerry from his podcast. A lot of the folks that are in our audience tonight were members of his podcast as well. I'm not sure what the future of Bigfoot Odyssey holds. I don't know how they're going to be able to continue, but we wish them all the best. And our prayers and our thoughts go out with the family and the family of the driver of the other vehicle. It's a tragedy for not just his family and our family, but for the family of the other driver as well. I don't have a lot of details. All I know is about 3 a.m. the night before last, yesterday morning early, there was a vehicle accident involving two vehicles on a stretch of Texas highway, and occupants of both vehicles were killed. So beyond that, I can't say, and I don't want to speculate. Because we just don't know. We don't know what caused it, and again, I don't want to speculate on it. But in the spirit of that, after everything that's happened, and people are going to be talking about this for a while, you can go over to Kerry Arnold's page on Facebook and see all the memorials that have already been put up on his page. I have not put one up on my page yet for him because I wanted to wait to do this live before I posted anything, and we look for something from me on that end later, but I want to kind of take this moment and let everybody know that we are praying for him and his family, and I want to dedicate this show to him and his family. And in that spirit, we're going to jump back into cryptids because I don't want to spend the entire show on the brink of crying for the loss of a friend. So, Kerry, wherever you are, brother, tonight, Godspeed, and know that we're thinking of you. So, we were going to do this on what everybody's favorite cryptid was. And joining us tonight is Krista from Blondes and Booze podcast.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. How are you all?
I'm doing good. Under the circumstances,
Sure.
it could be a better circumstances to say the least.
Right.
But we want to take something positive out of this, and just be grateful for what we had. So, we'll start with you. What's your favorite cryptid and why? What brought you that jump to that love of the cryptid?
I guess I have a couple. So I had my first Sasquatch experience about 1.5 2 years ago. And so that really got me jumping into the cryptids. But for some weird reason, I'm really interested in Dogman. So I read everything on it. And then, of course, I'm in Missouri, so Missouri Momo. And that I don't believe. I'm not so sure that it's even a Bigfoot. So, I've been reading a lot of stuff on that too. Mm-hmm.
What makes you think it's not a type of Bigfoot?
Well, not that it's not exactly what you would per se a Bigfoot, maybe like a Gugway or something. I don't know, just from what I've been reading.
I've been fascinated by the Momo story since I was a kid because it was the first real one I'd heard from right here in Missouri. And I think it's a pretty interesting story, especially that because it was seen by so many people around Louisiana,
Right.
Missouri.
Well, and then on some encounters too, I've read, I mean, of course, it's the internet that I'm reading on, so you gotta, take it with a grain of salt. But some of them have been kind of aggressive and things like that. So, yeah. And honestly, Louisiana, Missouri is only less than an hour away from me, so kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
I know it was up in your neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's my favorite. But like I said, this dogman thing too. First thing I ever heard about a dogman, I thought, man, people are crazy, But then, you hear all these stories and not everybody's crazy, and real reputable people, that have these encounters, and it's made me a true believer.
I can definitely see that. Who would like to talk about theirs next? Anybody? Bueller?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, Norm.
New Jersey Devil. Because it's a flying cryptid. It's got the characteristics of other forms of cryptids, whether it's like a goat head, horse's head, lizard's head. And, we've run into some cryptids that are similar. And this one's a flyer. It's got a unique background to it, going back to the 1700s, being the 13th child born of a woman that didn't want to have the child. And so, supposedly being a cursed devil spawn. And then over the years, how it continues to grow, people see different variations of it. Like I say, going between a horse's head, lizard's head, goat's head, and the fact that it's a flying cryptid. We don't talk a lot about flying cryptids, or people mention a lot about flying cryptids. So I think it's a unique one to be for my favorite.
I've also heard on the paranormal side of things that I've heard it's like followed people home, and then people start having paranormal things happen too.
It's very possible if it's a spawn of Lucifer, then
yeah,
very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the legends around that. Some people talk about how they believe it's a misidentified, like, gigantic bat. There's a lot of lore around that, but it is one of the more fascinating cryptids, because especially since they've been seeing it pretty much since before New Jersey was even a state.
Exactly, and it's also been some people think it's been misrepresentative as a crane, I believe. I forget the type of crane that's up in New Jersey that's common up there. Some people try to write it off as being of a crane, a bird. Instead, like I said, I can't remember the name of the crane or bird that's being referred to, but that's supposedly part of the misidentification. So, like I say, it's got a long history of it, which is pretty good.
Sounds like DA just went to something stronger.
Yeah, I thought I'd take a minute and raise a glass. Anybody want to join me? This one's for you, Kerry.
Till Valhalla.
I mean, the only other flying cryptid that would be considered next to it, besides the Thunderbird, would be Mothman out of Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mothman's also been seen around Chicago as well.
I haven't heard that.
And there was actually, I don't know the original source of it, but allegedly Mothman was seen around the Pripyat reactor before the Chernobyl event.
Really? So then it would. Because there's some interesting stories behind Mothman, between being a cryptid. Some people saying it's extraterrestrial because supposedly UFOs were noted in the area at the time of its conception. Others say it's a failed U.S. military experiment, or maybe not a failed military experiment, but there's a whole lot of speculation behind it on the Mothman.
Yeah. I think it's more of a portent of doom. I think it's, an omen, a death omen.
It's very possible. It could be because it had the bridge collapse, and then I didn't know about Chernobyl, so that's two. And I'd like to see if there's a third one out there. If someone that ever comes across it or finds something to share, 'cause I'd love to find out if it's related to any tragedies.
Any given day in the news in Chicago.
That's for sure. That's for
Well, I guess
sure.
the third one would be Chicago's fall itself. I mean,
You kind of see that.
yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know about the one in Pripyat.
Yeah, we did a show on Mothman a year ago, and I found that, dug it up.
Interesting.
Yes. Very interesting.
Taylor, what about you?
Mine was also the Jersey Devil. Like what Norman said, I find the story really cool. Don't get why she had 13 kids to begin with, but you know, if I did, I'd probably curse the 13th to be a devil too.
I'm the youngest of 11, so I might explain things.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find it cool because unlike other cryptids, the Jersey Devil's believed to be just one of them. Like, there's a bunch of the other ones, but just one Jersey Devil. So, and yeah,
He's unique.
the woman's name was actually Deborah Leeds, and yeah, she had 12 children before, but in 1735 she had her 13th and cursed it to be the devil. And fun fact about it, the first official sighting was from Joseph Bonaparte, who fled after
Napoleon's brother?
Yeah, who fled to what ended up being New Jersey.
Wow.
After the whole thing with his brother happened, and he was the first recorded sighting in 1820.
Interesting.
Yeah, and in the 1900s, there was hundreds of thousands of reports to the point where, like, they put out several bounties, and to this day, nobody has even come close to catching it.
Interesting.
It's one of those ones that pretty terrifying too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got cloven hooves and head like a horse and flies. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I saw that, I would probably be reconsidering whatever I was doing at that time. Doc, what about you, brother?
Well, you know what my favorite is, DA.
It's because it likes snowmobiles.
Because it has an affinity for snowmobiles. The Wendigo. Ever since the Curse of the Wendigo came out, that really piqued my interest. But prior to that, it was something that had been on the radar because of the church camp that my daughters had gone to up in the mountains here in Colorado, and they were adamant, not just for the for the Sasquatch activity up in that area, but also they said, hey, there's something evil up here, and you need to stay within the confines of the camp. Don't go anywhere without a buddy. This, that, and the other. Man, people can attribute that to, big cats and things like that, coyotes, all that kind of stuff. But they overheard one of the people talking about a Wendigo, and they started talking about it. And sure enough, I mean, there have been people who have been who have had sightings. There was one from up in El Paso County here where I live, up in Pikes Peak. That was from April of 2020. Some guy on a channel called Modern Explorer talked about how they got paralleled by Wendigo when he had come to escort his buddy down off of Pikes Peak. His buddy had been living out there on the mountain for about 5 months just to see if he could do it for whatever reason. And they were bringing him back into town one evening, and he swore that they were paralleled by a Wendigo. So, and I mean, typically it's with First Nation Algonquin up in the northern region of the United States, but there have been some sightings here in this area as well of it. So that just kind of intrigued me a little bit, because just like anything else, we don't know what's out there. So that is definitely piqued my interest. So anytime I go out in the woods, I carry my medicine bag. That's for sure.
Can't say that I blame you.
No.
Robbie?
Well, I mean, and we had this conversation on our show between me and Norman. So obviously, Bigfoot's what brought most of us to the dance. You know, so he's number one as far as that goes. But my favorite cryptid is dogmen, werewolves, any of that kind of stuff. Because even before I had my encounter, I was watching werewolf movies. That has always fascinated me. And Taylor will tell you, I have seen every single. I don't care how bad it is, how subpar B level movie it is. If it's a werewolf movie, I have probably seen it. I watched a video the other day. It was an hour-long video on the top 30 werewolf movies, and out of 30, I had seen 29 of them. There was one that I hadn't seen.
Well, now
So-
you gotta watch it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I got to. That's part of the, that's a challenge now. And it was an Italian Hammer style film from like 1969. So I mean, it was obscure, but I'm gonna find it
The
and watch
old
it.
Hammer horror films.
Yeah. It had. I think I want to say Christopher Lee was in it, and but it's just. I have a healthy respect for a Bigfoot or a Gugway or any of that kind of stuff. And there's not a lot that scares me. The job that we do or have done, there's not a lot that scares me, but those things terrify me. But I still want to have an encounter. But it's just, I guess that whole fight what you fear type thing. I guess that's why it's just always intrigued me. I guess when I first started watching werewolf movies, the old Lon Chaney movies, they were not scary. But the first really scary werewolf movie that I ever saw was Silver Bullet. And it scared the ever-loving daylights out of me, but it has since become my favorite werewolf movie. And it's fascinated me my whole life. So that's why I really like our shows that we've read those encounters, because that's intriguing to me, hearing all those encounters.
Do you like American Werewolf in London, Robbie?
He loves it.
That's
Yes.
one of my top favorite horror movies right there.
That would be my number 2 favorite
Yeah.
werewolf movie. Is
He
followed by
loves it.
The Howling.
What
Those
about-
are my top 3.
What about Silver Bullet? Is it Silver Bullet's your top one?
Silver Bullet's number 1. American Werewolf in London is number 2.
Yep.
Howling is number 3.
What about Dog Soldiers?
That's number 4. I was just about to say Dog Soldiers is
Yeah.
number 4.
I just watched that
Yeah.
last weekend,
Somebody
man. Or
asked.
2 weekends.
I love Dog Soldiers. I love the whole premise of that movie. That movie right there is almost like Wild Hunt in England.
Yeah. Set up in the Scottish Highlands. I was like,
Yeah.
I told Angie, I said, well, if it's in the Scottish Highlands, we definitely got to watch it, to see. But She
That
was like,
movie.
it's pretty cheesy, but it's funny. It's a good movie.
But
I liked it.
the thing about that movie that is so good is it didn't rely on CGI. It was totally practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
The premise was really believable. They didn't really, honestly, those were it was more like a dog man than it was a werewolf, because they really never, up until the very end when, spoiler alert, that girl started turning, it never really said anything about the human form that much. And I know when Ryan turned, that kind of was the same thing, but it was almost more like a dogman type thing to me. The way they acted, having some intelligence, but just, I don't know, that was a great movie. I liked it.
It is a great movie.
It is.
I hear they're working on a sequel.
Yeah, well,
Really?
that was the first movie he ever directed too. That was his first directorial thing, and people have been asking for a sequel to it forever. But
Interesting.
really good cast. Sean Pertwee's a great actor. Kevin McKidd, great actor. I can't remember the guy that played Ryan, but he's been in a bunch of other stuff too. He's a great actor. But it was just, he didn't try to make it too outlandish. It was almost believable the way that everything happened. And,
Yeah.
from a military standpoint, That's exactly how you would have handled that situation.
Yep.
And I guess that's why I like it so much, because it's like DA's books. It was more grounded in reality than it was in fantasy. You know, it was a very believable situation that could happen anytime. You know, obviously the others completely fanciful, however that word is said. You know, South Carolina, Doc's favorite redneck here. I don't know words good.
We don't know words.
We don't know
I
words.
broke Doc again, DA. He's been back 5 minutes and I broke him again.
You broke me. You broke me, man. It's funny because there's
Goal accomplished.
a lot of vampire movies, or as we say down Mississippi, vampire movies and werewolf movies, but there's not a whole lot of Wendigo movies. But there is actually a good movie that just came out. DA and I were talking about it one day. Antlers.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Is that the one where the guys are camping? And
no,
they're
it's set up in this little town, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but it centers around this little kid who he's dealing with the fact that his dad and older brother are Wendigo.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It was recently. It was last year, wasn't it, DA, that it came out?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, there's actually another one. It's a really good movie. It came out about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. I can't remember the name of it, but this group of friends go on this little camping hiking trip up in, I want to say it was in Canada somewhere, maybe.
The Ritual.
Yes, that's it. The Ritual.
That was in Scandinavia.
Yeah,
it was
really good.
My first thought was Until Dawn, but that's a game.
The Ritual was a good movie. Angie and I liked that one a lot. And then there was a movie back years ago with Guy Pearce. The thing with a Wendigo, it's always interpreted as some kind of cannibal, because it's cannibalistic, obviously. But they were saying, it was called Ravenous, I think.
Yes.
And then there was a one called. It was about Alfred Packer. They were saying it was a documentary, I think, because Alfred Packer, here in Colorado back in 1800s, he was a guide, and everybody made it out, or nobody made it out but him. And he was fat, dumb, and happy when he showed up to wherever he ended up being. And so, they jokingly called the dining facility at CU Boulder the Alfred Packer dining facility. So, Alfred Packer.
Have any of you guys seen Dawn of the Beast?
No.
That sounds familiar.
You should watch it. Bigfoot versus Wendigo.
That's got to be better than Jason versus Freddy.
The acting in it is not awesome. The effects were pretty good, but the plot was shockingly good. It wasn't done by a big budget company, so obviously the actors weren't anybody you've ever heard of. But if you can get past the fact that the acting's a little wooden, it's worth watching.
All right.
I'll say Wendigos were probably the first ever cryptid that ever scared me. So I was watching a documentary and I was like, Wendigo, that's a cool name. And then they said, oh, if you say it, they'll come for you. I was like the little 10-year-old me was like,
yeah. Yeah.
I was like, Dad.
I probably haven't helped that situation by having her sit beside me watching all the horror movies that I've watched.
I wouldn't. I had night terrors. I'd run.
It's like that altar and everything that Lily and her friends found out in the woods here up in the mountains, up near Mount Herman. And one of the friends said the W word, as she calls it. And they were like, dude, shut up. It's going to come for us now. So they exited stage left, so they got the heck out of Dodge. Don't want to tempt anything, that's for sure.
While we're on the topic of good Bigfoot movies, have anybody seen Exist?
That was good.
That was really good. The found footage Bigfoot movie.
Yeah, that's really good.
My favorite one so far is Primal Rage.
That one's good too. A couple and another good one. It's Big Legend. That one. watch that. Lance Henriksen's in that one.
Okay.
Very, very good. But they were supposed to be making. It was supposed to be setting up sort of like a. I don't want to use the term MonsterVerse because that's Paramount's thing, but it was supposed to be setting up a whole universe of cryptid stuff. But you talk about this had to be Gugway that they were messing with in that movie. But
Yeah,
watch it. Have you seen it, Da?
yeah, it's really good.
Yes, and you talk about. Oh my God! On the edge of your seat type. It's like Da was talking about the other movie. It's not a big budget production company, but they do it very well. It's shot really well. Beautiful scenery wherever they're at, and they the Bigfoot itself doesn't look bad, but they do really good with how little they show it versus. Obviously,
they went with the theory that less is more when it comes to the creature.
They went with the Jaws theory, which obviously we know the Jaws theory was only made because the thing didn't work, but it ended up being, probably the best thing that ever happened to that movie.
1980 CNH mentioned the movie Willow Creek. Have you seen that?
Yes, that's a good one too.
That is really good. It's actually directed by Bob Goldthwait.
Everybody knows who he is, right?
Yeah, he's directing now, which means I expected half the dialogue to be.
How you guys? This is like a Bigfoot chasing us and stuff.
Doc, that was really good.
Thank you very much.
Dad, you have to give me a warning. I just about went deaf.
Sorry.
He started screaming into his mic.
Sorry.
Okay, Doc, you got me back. Oh my gosh, I got a cramp in my side.
That's the best Bob Goldthwait impression I've ever heard.
Thank you.
I thought he was really sitting there.
I used to do weekend safety briefings as Bobcat Goldthwait when I was in trauma school. So yeah,
That's hilarious.
he was my jam. I love me some Bobcat.
Well,
he's dead. He's actually not in the movie. He's just the director. But he did a really good job.
Did you hear him directing? So could we have like a little bit more, like realism?
I need some oxygen.
Sorry, Robbie. Take a breath, man. Take a breath.
You're gonna get Bucky acting up.
No, he's asleep.
You're gonna get the hypoxia.
Yeah. I was just before you started thinking. I was just thinking of what if Bobcat Goldthwait encountered a Bigfoot? Can you hear that, Mr. Bigfoot?
Almost bullet almost came up the nose.
Jonathan Rossignol wants you to do Pauly Shore next.
I'll try.
Teresa.
I'll see if I can channel my inner grindage and see if I can do more. I don't know. Could you see Pauly Shore being Margolin in the books?
Oh my gosh.
Oh mercy.
Oh.
Sorry, Norman. We're kind of a screwed up bunch here, man.
It's all normal to me.
Well, I appreciate it. I needed to laugh.
Yeah.
Werewolf 5674 says Doc Sling Blade is the best.
Yeah,
Thank
Doc
you.
does a good sling blade.
I appreciate you. I reckon I'm gonna have to kill you now. As long as you bring me some sweet tea and some French fried potatoes with mustard.
I can't even think of who Sling Blade is, but like that voice rings a bell deep in my brain. And
Billy
It's a
Thornton.
good movie.
probably a movie that he's put on, and I just was sitting in
It's,
the room.
Billy, look it up, Taylor. Billy Bob Thornton. He actually won. Did he win an Emmy for that or an
I
Oscar?
think so.
Yeah,
and
I think he won an
Oscar.
Oscar.
John Ritter was in that movie. Lucas Black. Lucas's little boy. He's from Alabama near Birmingham. Great movie. The way he transformed himself he's definitely a master of his craft doing that for sure.
Yeah.
His face is so conflicting.
Yeah.
I watched an interview here not too long ago, several years ago, with Bob Goldthwait, and they were asking him about the old Police Academy movies. he goes, yeah, I've still got some of the scripts of those. And he says, there's not even dialogue in there. That's just like Bobcat makes noise. And he said, and to be honest, I don't even know what the hell I was saying back then. I was high half the time.
Oh man, there was some movie he was in. Bobcat was in with Whoopi Goldberg back in the day, and he jumped into a cab and he was drunk, and the cab driver's like, "Where do you want to go?" And he's like, "Home." And he's like, "Where is he?" He said, I don't know. Just drive around for a little bit. I'm sure I can pick it out. You know. Sorry, Taylor. Sorry.
Norman, did you get that too?
I got
A little bit.
My bad.
It's all good.
My bad. All right. Much needed comedy. So DA, who's your favorite cryptid?
Well, now at this point, I think I'm going to say Bob Goldthwait.
Is he a cryptid now?
He could be.
Is he that elusive?
Pretty much. But yeah, but at least we can get footage by having Doc doing the impersonation. We're gonna shoot a documentary on Bobcat Bob Goldthwait and have Doc play him.
You just hear him laughing in the distance, just like, I'm about to drop a tree on you.
Look out!
Dude, take a couple steps back from the mic before you.
Sorry. Bucky moved the mic on me. Sorry.
Ow.
Oh.
So yeah, DA, who's your favorite cryptid, brother? Inquiring minds want to know.
I would normally, under most circumstances, say Bigfoot, because that's really what got me to the dance. But since my sighting in LBL, I'm going to have to say Dogman. That's the one. I mean, you know, I've had a couple of near misses with Bigfoot where I believe that's all it could have been, but I didn't actually see it. But when you see one of these things, it stops being a intellectual exercise and starts being subject of nightmares. A firm visual sighting will change everything. And I'm gonna have to go with Dogman. That's why I go to that well so many times with the books. But they're definitely gonna be seeing the branching out in the books too. But yeah, I gotta go with Dogman.
And I will say this, pound for pound. I mean, the Wendigo is, I mean, like all the cryptids. I mean, they're steeped in folklore. But I would tell you what, man, pound for pound, the two cryptids that really scare me the most, honestly, would be Dogman and the Gugway.
Well, the Gugway is terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Gugway and Dogman terrify me because you're not. I don't think you're going to have a good encounter with either one of those dudes.
No, in fact, if you get too close, probably the only way you're coming out of the woods is a bowel movement.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know, we from everything we talk about on here, there's far more sightings of the Gugway and or the Bigfoot and Dogman cryptids than we've heard from the Wendigo or Mothman or the Jersey Devil or anything like that, or Crystal? What'd you say? The Momo from Missouri?
Yeah, Missouri Momo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are scary in their own right, but man, the two I would not want to meet up because what's that place up in is it up in Alaska or is it in Canada? That's the Valley of the Heads or something like that.
Oh, the Headless Valley, not the Nahanni Valley. That's in Canada.
Yeah, dude, that name alone would keep me to go, hey, yep, it's time to get the hell out of here. You know,
I kind of like my head.
Yeah,
definitely. Sounds like a place in Vietnam.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you expect Marlon Brando to be sitting there on the throne or something, you know.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, but those two critters, those are the ones that give me pause about cryptids for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nymeria had a question. She said, DAX Machina podcast, are you going to the Dogman Conference next year in New Mexico if Josh has it? Yeah, that's definitely the plan, and hopefully, more than just me can go. Because maybe I can talk Doc and Anthony and maybe a few of the others into coming along as well. Hopefully,
sure.
I'll be in a much better place next year to be able to bring a lot more books to the show.
Yeah, and I'm right down I-25, man. So I can be there. I mean, I'm down like a fat kid on a seesaw. Come on. So I mean, I'll be there quick.
This one's for you, Doc. Werewolf 5674 says, "Well, Doc, after the Wendigo, did your snowmobile? That's got to mean something."
Well, me and the Wendigo ain't on speaking terms after what I did to my snowmobile, so we won't talk about that. That's a sore subject.
When I first wrote that scene, I just heard that in Doc's voice, and I texted him. I'm like, what was it I said? You wake fucker or something like that.
That was the exact text, actually. Yeah, that's typically how your texts begin late at night. Oh my goodness, a fur baby. Oh.
How'd you explain it to insurance, Doc?
Well, I'm pretty sure USAA doesn't cover Wendigo having unlawful carnal relations with your snowmobile.
He explained it to him 3 times, and then finally just told him How about that?
They said, "Where do you live again?" I said, "Colorado." You must be smoking the good stuff. Gotcha.
VA psych meds are working good.
Exactly. Or maybe you're off of them. I don't know. Maybe you're non-compliant with the psych meds.
There you go. Chairman Meow says, "Do you think dogman sightings have increased?"
Absolutely.
I think they have.
Yeah, I agree.
They have litters.
Honestly, across the board, I think all cryptid sightings have increased. Because, you're talking about, Bigfoot's raiding dumpsters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or big feet, whatever the plural is for them. Just like Mises and Mooses. But yeah, Norman, do you agree with that, man?
Yeah, I mean, I recently, when I started doing this stuff with Robbie and that, some of the folks in my community that I work with have been coming to me and saying, "Hey, I had this encounter," or "Hey, I seen this, but I didn't tell nobody because of fear out of laughter." Yeah. And I'm just amazed at some of the stories I'm starting to get here in South Carolina from people that have seen something out the corner of their eye, crossing the road, looking over fences. I mean, it's like we talked a couple weeks ago about the veil slowly thinning. So more and more activities coming up.
Yeah. I mean, this last class I was just up in Washington State this past weekend. We almost got evacuated because of that big fire up there. The road was closed about a half mile from the range I was teaching at. So it was real close. But several of the people in the class were inquiring about the podcast. And I said, "Hey, serious note, have any of y'all ever had any encounters?" And several of the hands went up in the class. So it was there more and more encounters are occurring. Krista, what do you think?
Well, I'm new to the cryptid, so I don't know what it was like before, but it's like everywhere I turn, somebody's seeing something, for sure.
Well, and it's like Norman said too, and Robbie and DA and I've talked about this on several shows, is people are they're experiencing it, but they've been heretofore very hesitant to come forward with anything for fear of being labeled as a nut job.
Mm-hmm.
But now people are like, "Hey, hell, the U.S. government and the U.S. Navy's like, hey guys, UFOs, that shit's real." So now it's kind of like, all right, well, gloves off. Let's talk about this.
A big eye opener for me was last year when we did our last year's Fall into the Supernatural. I had a guy who witnessed a Bigfoot, and he's a Kansas City police officer, and he had kept it quiet for a long time. And then, he started telling his fellow officers, well, they were giving him a hard time. So they gave him a lie detector test, and he passed it. He had a copy of it there, and, he had a drawing made of what he saw. So that's why people don't come out. I think just because of what he went through.
Well,
I definitely agree.
I agree. And DA and I've talked about this, and Robbie, me and all three of us have talked about this on several shows, especially being in the public servant spotlight. I mean, Robbie, what are they going to? What's your patrol sergeant going to tell you if you come up and tell them, I saw a Bigfoot?
They're going to say, "Sure, you did. Pee in this cup."
Yeah,
exactly.
Your credibility goes down, supposedly.
Well, you saw the pictures in the co-host chat group, right? You see what my patrol sergeant that was my patrol sergeant that did that. So that should answer your question.
No, but it is. They're going to think you're pharmaceutically enhanced. You know what I mean? And that's a sad fact of the matter. But it's true. It's what we're dealing with. But I think the gloves are off now with all this stuff coming out, and so that the veil may be thinning, like you said, Norman. But also, I also think that it's, I wouldn't say commonplace, but it's going to be more. It's probably going to be more widely accepted now.
Yeah,
than
I agree.
Than it has been in years past, for sure.
With all the movies, the books, it opens up people's minds and horizons a little bit more, and that's always been something I always thought when they talk about UFOs back in the day, is the movies, the books, the TV shows were to open up people's perspective. And the fact that Bigfoot became more mainstream starting in the 70s, with Legend of Boggy Creek?
Yes.
Yeah. That came out in 72, I believe it was.
Oh, my God. That scared the hell out of my brothers.
Great movie.
Yes.
It began to open the door for people's perspective to widen. And then with the more podcasts coming out, the different books, TV shows, the movies, all the ones that we're sitting here talking about, this has opened up people's perspective a little bit more, but not maybe necessary to say, hey, I saw one type of thing, but still to the point where, they might talk about it with certain people.
Yeah, absolutely. And Henri de Klerk just had a good question. Do you think there's more sightings, or is it just more people coming out?
I think
Maybe
it's
both.
a mixture.
Taylor, what do you think?
I think it's a mixture because with it being more accepted, kind of, I feel like some people are finally comfortable enough to come out with their stories, and at the same time, people are still seeing things as they happen. But
Right.
Well, I think we've touched on that before because of the Black Plague of the 21st century, like we've talked about plenty of times, where people were for almost 2 years not doing anything, not going in the woods, not being around. And, nature has a way of taking over. Yeah. And
healing.
So
absolutely.
I think that, these things were pushed back for so long that once that happened and, they started coming back out and moving back around freely and then all of a sudden everything's back and then people are back out in the woods. They're right there together all of a sudden, and that's
yeah. They're having a very uncomfortable meeting.
Yep, it's like DA and his bear. They walked around the corner. And
Yeah. The best part of that whole thing when I came nose to nose with that grizzly is the first thing I tell is the idiots I'm with, don't run. And what do I hear?
DA. They say that a 22 isn't a good bear gun, but it ain't for the bear. It's for those slow sons of bitches with me. I'm gonna shoot them in the knees and I'm gonna take off.
Yep, I ain't got to be faster than the bear. I just got to be faster than that guy.
Don't go hunting with Doc.
Had that bear been hungry, that would have been a different story. It would have been told by, man, we knew that guy back when, but he didn't make it out of the woods.
Yeah, don't go hunting with Doc. You're gonna end up being the
Taylor, I got you, but if there's a bear around, it's every person for themselves. That's for sure.
So if you see somebody carrying a 22, wonder who's going to be the next.
There's a difference between every man for themselves and shooting them to get away.
I mean, hey, Darwinism. It's Darwinism. Did they bring a 22? I mean,
survival of the smartest.
That's right. John.
Or who's willing to commit a crime first?
Well, I mean, for there to be a crime, there's got to be a witness. I'm just saying. So,
No
it's
body,
hard
no
to find a
crime.
22. It's hard to find a 22 hole after a bear's been chewing on somebody's leg.
Mhm.
John Doe said something. He said, "Why? Wait, why is there a human here? I thought they all went away mysteriously a few moon cycles away." That's absolutely true. What you just said, Robbie. I mean, we were not there, and they're like, "Oh, well, nobody's here, so nature's going to take over. So let's go back doing what we used to do."
I mean, you think about it. If somebody moves out of it, and DA, I know you've seen this out when you were patrolling, and most everybody's seen this. Somebody moves out of a house or a trailer or whatever. How long does it take the grass and the weeds and everything like that to take that place over?
Not long.
Not long.
Not long.
Within a
Not
week,
long.
it looks like an abandoned house.
So if you're out of the woods for 2 years almost, and there's nobody doing anything, that's a long time for stuff
Right.
to take back over.
Yeah, especially for animals, it'll feel like a century. Like we make the joke all the time. Me and my dad, whenever we leave the house and we come back, we'll make the dogs say like, "You've been gone 10,000 years," when we've been gone 4 hours. But
I can walk out of the room and come back, and Harley acts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, to an animal, 2 years out
That's
of
the way this
woods will
meathead
feel
is.
like
I can walk out of the
forever.
room and go to the bathroom, and I come back, and it's like he hadn't seen me in 4 weeks.
You'll be sitting next to him, and he acts like he can't. He hasn't seen you in forever. He'll sit next to him, and because he's not in his lap, he'll have a panic attack.
Mm-hmm. That's mine.
Dog.
Like, I'll walk into there because he's like crying. I'm like, "What is wrong with him?" He's like, "He's not on my lap."
Yeah, that's the way Ranger is. Thankfully, the girl's here this week, so he's hanging out with the girl right now, standing guard over her and her boyfriend. So, excuse me, her friend. Yeah.
Sharon Meow says so few are attacked by dog men. Maybe
that we know of.
Maybe so few are left to report it. I would say if a predator like that got you, your odds of getting away are pretty low.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the thinking like you and I've talked about, DA. I mean, how many people are actually alive after the attack to report?
Yeah, how many were survivors, and how many are just missing 411 cases?
Yep, that's what I was about to say. The 411 cases. I mean, all the people that go missing in the woods throughout North America yearly, that you never find anything.
Then I wonder too if there isn't an intimidation factor where there's an agency that might be out there that knows about these attacks, and so they run interference between the victim or survivor, and they're like, "You don't want to talk about this. You don't know nothing about it." Because there was a story I heard about 2 people were like cops one time, and another time there was something else, but they're exact same people that were described by the witnesses that came and were trying to intimidate people about Bigfoot encounters.
That's true. That's true.
So there's. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we hear about all the alphabet soup agencies that are out there. There's probably, for as many as we hear and know about, there's probably that many plus more. I mean, is that out of the realm of possibility? No. I mean, but there's so many people out here that are talking about it now and seeing it. There's no way that they can keep up with that. Which is, I think that's why they went ahead and declassified the UFO thing. I mean,
yeah, because I would say this, Robbie. I would say that's more the case than the exception to the case.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see a lot more of stuff like that being quietly declassified. I mean, I've mentioned it before. Look at the Ohio Department of Natural Resources released a 5-part series on what to do in the event of a Bigfoot encounter or an attack. And when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be a joke, and it's not. They released a legitimate series of films, and I don't think it's just limited to UFOs and cryptids. I think we're seeing an uptick on sightings in paranormal as well.
Yeah, and wasn't that something from the Ohio DNR that you said that you showed us, DA? That was a flyer from Ohio DNR.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what state that was that I showed you, or from the wildlife management, where it was talking about, the encroachment into their territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what state that was, but we talked about that on the group chat.
And we were talking about it on here before. I mean, Springfield ain't exactly metropolis. It's not New York City or L.A., but the greater metropolitan area. There's 250,000 people if you count the bedroom communities that butt up to the city itself.
Yeah.
But so 250,000 people, that's not an insignificant number of people. But here in town, we're getting black bears and mountain lions on Ring doorbell cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and think about, and I know we've talked about this before on other shows that we've had, but think about the homeless population. How many more homeless people there are out there right now? I see this every day at work. There's a new homeless person in my town that I've never seen before. How many of those people that don't have anybody that care about them, nobody report them, stuff like that? How many of those people that we don't even know about, don't even know exist anymore, that are just wandering around, could get taken by these things and nobody would ever even know?
And by and large, if somebody goes missing in the homeless community, it doesn't get reported.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We just lost Robbie. No, we didn't. It wasn't Robbie. We lost Taylor.
I mean, that's a smorgasbord being delivered to them with the homeless community, basically.
Right. Yeah,
And-
nobody's going to go looking for them.
Yeah,
Exactly. And if a missing person report is even filed with law enforcement, as sad as it is to say, most law enforcement agencies are going to say it's a transient population. They probably just moved on.
They're slipping through the cogs, man.
Yeah.
They're not a cog in the wheel. They're just slipping right through them, and it's an unfortunate truth, but it's honestly, I don't think it's going to be until it hits. This might sound a little weird, but maybe not to us because we're all weird. But I don't think it's going to be until it hits suburbia, and people start disappearing from their freaking front and backyards.
Now, when a soccer mom goes out to let Fifi out in the backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning, and soccer mom doesn't come back, then it's going to get noticed.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they're the homeless population are the unfortunate casualties.
Well, think about that scene. I know some of y'all have probably seen the old movie Grizzly, right?
Yeah.
The old Jaws knockoff. When did they finally start paying attention to the guy? When the bear attacked the little kid and killed his
the
mom.
mother and the kid. Yeah.
Yep.
That's when everybody started paying attention. Oh, and the park ranger had been screaming for days, "Hey, we need to." But until, like you said, until it hit home, until it was right there.
Not an issue.
Same thing with Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was just about to use that as like let's use something non-cryptid. They didn't listen to the people in Jaws until it started taking people off the beach.
Yeah.
Shark attacks are on the rise too. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, there were 2 people in the same. I think it was the same day, bit off of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, we have a firefighter that follows us on Dark Angel Medical. If you follow us on Instagram, go to darkangelmedical.com. But it's that's my but he sends us updated shark attack stats. He said, "Hey, there's another one this weekend. There's another one. 2 more this past weekend, type of thing." So, people don't listen until it's in their own backyard. It doesn't affect you until it's right there in their AO.
Yeah. And I think that's 100% accurate. I mean, people are going to add back to our Jaws reference. Richard Dreyfuss, you're going to ignore this problem until it swims up and bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
No, because what are we as society? As society, and I tell this to people in my medical classes all the time, we're reactive rather than proactive.
Exactly.
Because it's not my problem until it is my problem. It's somebody else's problem.
Mhm.
And then when it becomes my problem, then it is a problem.
Not my circus, not my monkeys mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's also a large number of dogman sightings that have been reported by U.S. Border Patrol. So if we've got illegals coming across the border and they go missing, they're not going to get reported.
Right.
No, Well, bro, I mean, remember we had that person that works for that certain agency along the border that they couldn't release all their information that saw Bigfoot activity, and I mean, if there's Bigfoot activity, Dogman activity, whatever it is, whatever cryptid it is, it's there. It's just because it's not released or hidden doesn't mean it ain't there.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys.
Shoot.
Just, like I said, I'm new to all this cryptid stuff. Is it like a certain times of the year, like different seasons that there's more, or do they like, winter time, not as much, or are they more out in the summer? Or?
Well, I don't think they hibernate, but the report sightings database seems to bear this out, that the bulk of reports that I know we at the NADP get seem to peak in spring and fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about that. We think they follow migration patterns of whatever deer, elk. Yeah.
Right.
I'd assume it'd be like any other animal. Like they don't even with humans, we don't want to be out as much in the cold.
No.
Like even if they don't hibernate, I'm sure they'd prefer to be taking shelter when it's snowing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mark Napier had a good question. He says, how many attacks do you think have been buried because of tourism?
Probably a lot.
A lot.
Probably more than we'll ever know. I know in the missing 411 cases, those basically got buried by the Parks Department until David Pilates discovered them. And these are not just, people go missing in the woods. It happens. Sometimes they break a leg and get picked off by scavengers. Sometimes they get off trail and just go missing. However, those are not the cases David Pilates profiles. David Pilates profiles the weird ones, the ones where somebody stepped around a tree and the people behind him come around the corner and they're gone and never seen again. The really, really bizarre ones, the ones where dogs won't track them. And those are the ones that stick out in my mind because I've worked with dogs. Robbie's worked with dogs. These dogs that are trained to track people, they live for the track. They cannot wait to get out of the vehicle and start that track. They love it. And for them to just lay down and go, F it, I'm out. That is not normal.
That is profound.
Well, it's like the reaction Robbie got from our sample we collected here, and he shared it with his dog. The response he got from his dog.
Yeah, the dog was like, nope, I'm gone.
Yeah, like with our dog Quinna, who was a retired police canine, it was 10 years or 8 something years later, and we found that envelope and we hid it, and she was still able to remember her command and find it immediately.
Yeah. She'd been retired for almost 10 years at that point, and she still remembered how to do it and still could do it, and that's their life. So
she was 14.
It's profound if a dog and that's something that always stuck with me about the Boggy Creek movie when they brought all those dogs out, those high dollar hunting dogs, and they all came out and was just like, no, that's because dogs don't think about stuff the same way we do.
No,
they're not out there for pride. They're out there because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And for them to not do it, then.
When I was looking into the Jersey Devil, apparently when those bounties and stuff went out in the 1900s, they sent out a bunch of the best hunting dogs they had. Every single one of them refused to track the hoof prints that was left behind. Not a single dog would go and track it. They just cowered and went away from it.
I'd really be interested if somebody could do an analysis on scent from samples and see if there's a common denominator that would be the reason why tracking dogs don't want to go for it.
Well, it's not like they don't have a scent trail to follow.
Right.
You give the dog an item, and the dog will find the scent from that. And if the dog can't initially find the scent, that dog will hunt until you call it off to try to find that scent. But for the dog to just lay down, I'm like, nope, not doing it. That's not normal.
Not at all.
And that's something I tried to illustrate in my book Lakeview Man. That when that dog refused to track, the handler's like, this is not natural. Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, because matter of fact, I watched one of our canine handlers, one that's on my team the other day. I watched him get Boss out of the car and to go practice on a track, and he's like literally pulling Caleb up. I mean, Caleb was land skiing. That's how ready this dog was to get out there and track. So for it to for these dogs are these dogs are not selected because of just they're high prey drive dogs. And Dad can tell you this: they're not dogs that are just kind of. They want to get out there and do that. And because like when I had Quinta and I would take and put her long line on her, she knew the difference between getting out of the car to go hunt for dope versus getting out of the car to go run around in the woods. And she loved going and doing tracks. So for them to not want to do that, that is just
that was our Robbie. That was our working dogs. Our working dogs. That was their life. That was their mission. Yeah. They wanted to go fang a bad guy.
Quinta was so sad whenever she was retired. She would every morning he left for work. He had her badge right at the front door. She'd go and sit and wait for her badge. I remember the first morning she wasn't working. It was a weekend, and I was home, so I got to sit there and watch her sit at that door for 3 hours waiting for her badge after he left.
Wow. Yeah,
actually, I think she stayed there all day except for going to the bathroom and food and water. Other than that, she stayed at that door all day.
Well, I mean,
Mark
Taylor,
Napier,
that's
Mark
their life.
Napier. Sorry, Kerry, go ahead.
I mean, Taylor, that's their life. You know what I mean? It's like
it's
like my buddy.
She
Trent.
left it.
Yeah, my buddy Trent was a dog handler on Team 7, and he was like, "These dogs live for the action, and if they refuse the action, brother, you better be thinking. You better be sitting there going, huh."
Trust your dog.
Yeah, if Quinta was scared of something, I would have been like already gone. Like if she showed she was scared of something, except for thunder, she was scared of thunder. Anything else though, I would have already been running if she showed any sign of fear, because that dog was not cowardice.
Yeah. My hunter. The only thing my 110-pound German Shepherd is afraid of is the robot vacuum cleaner that moves on its own. If he hears that thing chime, he's like, "Deuces, I'm out. I'm in Dad's cave."
I don't think Quinta was scared of it much. She just wanted to fight it.
Yeah, dude, Ranger won't even fight it. He's like, "This shit moves by itself. I'm out."
Yeah, she was a good like we had this giant tree in my grandparents' yard. We would like get up like on like a step stool or something. I think we had to, because the first branch was so high up, like we had to like use like an extender arm or something. I think I remembered, right, Dad?
Mm-hmm.
And we put her ball up in that little branch, up in that branch, just where like it was hanging out a little bit. She would back up and sprint straight up that tree. And she was a Belgian Malinois, so a German Shepherd on crack. She sprinted straight up that tree and got it every single time. It was insane.
The department, we used to refer to them as maligators.
Yeah. Land sharks.
Mm-hmm. Fur-covered razor blades.
Yeah, freaking fur missiles, man. Good Lord.
Mark Napier had a good question. He says, DA, do you think there's a cover-up because of tourism in the LBL? Ooh. Yes, I do. Considering the reaction I got when I was in there, I got kicked out of a bait shop for bringing it out and told by a cop that if I knew what was good, I'd drop it.
Wow.
Okay.
And that was just across the river, the canal from LBL.
DA, how many reports have gone missing from public domain?
A lot of
animal attacks.
A lot of the stories around LBL just seem to vanish. There's a lot of people that have gone missing in there over the years, and those reports just disappear. The funny thing about LBL is just across from LBL, across the canal, is a little town called Grand Rivers, and everybody I brought it up to in Grand Rivers either played dumb or got pissed off that I brought it up. But about 30 miles away, not even that, it's like 20 miles away, is Paducah. Everybody in Paducah that I talked to had a story and they knew about it. So what's more likely? It didn't happen, or I was getting stonewalled in Grand Rivers, because there were people I talked to in a restaurant in Paducah that had encounters that they were telling me. Like, yeah, you wouldn't believe the crap we see along the shore when you're fishing close to daybreak.
What?
Yeah, these guys. One guy was saying that he was fishing along the edge of LBL, and as he was trolling back into a little slough, he said there was one. What is a dogman creature crouched down at the edge of the water, and when it saw him, it started coming out at him. And I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "I fired up the big motor and got the hell out of there. I fish across the bay now.
Wow.
Because I won't fish anywhere near that damn place."
I don't blame him. But I mean, you and I talked about this offline one time about the reports you had seen in different areas that had animal attacks,
Mm-hmm.
and then
There's a lot of dog attacks in Kentucky and Tennessee.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, gone, like a fart in the wind. I mean, it's
Mhm.
out of here. It's gone. So
Well, the same thing when Steve and I were digging into the disappearances around the Joe Bald Recreation Area here in Missouri. You can't find those reports online now; they're just gone.
Dang.
And we found 8, I believe it was. We found associated with LBL,
I mean,
and when we went back to look for them, they were just completely gone. The links were dead.
you know,
Wow.
people don't typically want to go fish or camp or hunt or fish or camp where there's a high possibility they might end up a missing 411 case. You know.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
point.
But you go back to the Jaws thing again. You're gonna be the mayor of Jaws Central, but you're gonna be the mayor if you don't answer these things and something happens to somebody, and then it's found out that you know this. I mean, what's worse?
Dude, I mean, it's all about culpability, and we've talked about this on other shows too, Robbie. And it's like, you know, if they admit that there is this stuff out there, then what about all these people who have gone missing in the past? And there's automatic culpability.
Oh yeah, they've let it go so long. They've
Yeah.
got to keep that up.
Absolutely,
They've got to keep that
man.
smoke screen going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we knew about this. Oh really? Well, what about?
Right. That opens a whole can of worms they don't want to get into.
Yeah, suddenly they're culpable in some of these disappearances.
That's right.
If they ever admitted they knew about it, now they share a degree of blame because they didn't warn them.
Right.
But then again, if they did come out and say it, yeah, some people would stay away. But then you'd get 5 or 6 drunk rednecks like, I want to strap one of them to the hood of my pickup truck.
They go out there and become victims themselves.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's
think
the
that-
most accurate description I've ever heard. Strap it to the hood of your pickup truck.
That
I'm
goes
gonna
back to
get me one of them there Sam Squatches from a den. Imagine the rug that big son bitch is gonna make.
That's the
I went
same
to
ones.
school with a lot of those.
I think that's the same ones they interview after tornadoes hit too. So
it was
so-
pan-delirium. We thought we'd be killed or even worse.
you should have synced it.
There's something about the electromagnetic spectrum created by trailer houses and pink flamingos. Just draws in tornadoes right in.
They try to sound so smart, and
Hey.
it just makes them sound more and more drunk.
Y'all
Pretty
know
much.
Y'all know what a tornado and a redneck divorce has in common?
What's that?
Oh god.
Either way, somebody's losing a trailer. I've lived in a trailer, so I ain't bagging on anybody losing a trailer. I've lived in a trailer, so
I
I
have to.
have to.
just got to throw that out there. Disclaimer.
Trailers are great.
Dude, we had us a triple wide, man. That thing was high class. Shoot.
Shoot.
Trailers are awesome. I like trailers.
What was it Jeff Foxworthy said? If your richest relative buys a new house and you have to go help take the wheels off of it, you might be a redneck.
Hey, I got one for you. My oldest brother made moonshine for a science project in high school and won a blue ribbon award for it. So, if you make moonshine for a high school project, science fair project, you might be a redneck.
Don't do that
Damn.
nowadays. You will be like crucified.
Oh yeah.
Probably would have actually gone over well in my high school.
Oh, it
Mine
would have
too.
mine too.
Yeah, not now though. No.
Yeah. Not nowadays.
If you even mention the fact that you know what moonshine is, they're gonna like look through your computer and everything because they think you're a heathen.
That is true. Well, I am a
You
heathen.
heathen.
A heathen.
A heathen. A godless heathen.
Possessed by the devil.
Do that again. That sounded good.
That was good, Taylor. That was good.
I have raised her well.
Yeah, you
Kathy Bates from The Waterboy. You're the devil.
You the devil.
You did.
I
Mama
just told
said
her,
to catch that gorilla what escaped from the zoo and punched you in the eye.
you should hear me at work. It's just me and my friend walking around talking in a very strong Southern accent.
That's my normal accent. What you talking about?
Curse said not to be
times
political, but
10.
Curse says not to be political, but what's the chance of that part of it? Why they want it covered up is to push anti-Second Amendment crap. People knew they'd buy guns.
Definitely.
Hard to say on that one, but I think it's definitely being covered up. You know, for whatever reason, it's being covered up.
Well, I'll just say this. Going into the woods with Robbie, I upgraded my arsenal to 458 because I wanted to make sure I had something that's going to take down something big, just to be on the safe side.
I
Good
had
man.
2 knives. I had a knife on each hip. I was
You just, as my wife Angie says, you're just gonna juke them.
yeah.
She was planning on hamstringing some people. Is what she was planning on doing.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Okay. The thing is, like, if I need to, I know where the throat is. Like,
Taylor, we can bring you a 22.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
What's that
Hey,
line
that-
from the? What's that line from the movie? That movie in the '80s, Monster Squad. Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah.
Hey,
Another
Oh,
great werewolf, vampire creature from.
Look, all of them.
a movie reference I actually know.
Hey, Norm,
yeah, I always
would you
told my
adjust your
girl-
mic out a little bit? We're getting a lot of breathing.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I
We
always
need to
told
get you an actual mic, Mike.
Yeah,
I'll look
DA
into it.
always-
My only problem is my dog.
Headphone mics.
Just don't pull it close up to your mouth like I did, and you'll be all right.
And then scream into it.
Blow DA's ears out.
Nothing wrong with headphone mics.
I always
If
tell
they're
my,
adjusted properly.
I tell
Like,
my
I was
girls,
just-
just go for the soft parts and you're good. Anything soft, it'll be good.
Hit the squishy bits.
That's it. You're not
Yeah.
off, Taylor. That's for sure.
No, I've got police officer father, mother in the medical field. I know what to go for, and also
That's
hunter family.
And we call that combat anatomy.
I was also the first girl, so I was like well prepared for everything.
Oh, mercy.
Hey, folks, we are at an hour and 20 minutes. We are not quite ready to wrap it up, but I think this would be a great moment to refresh my coffee and take a quick word from our sponsor. Everybody can take a minute to hit the bathroom if they need to, because we're probably going to go another hour or so. To lead into our sponsor, Doc, would you like to tell us about this great new company called Dark Angel Medical?
Absolutely, man. If you are out in the woods or out on the road, out and about, doing whatever from the open range to the shooting range, if you use one of our kits, darkangelmedical.com, one of our premier trauma kits, you can save your life for somebody that you care about, maybe somebody you don't even know. But if you use one of our kits to save your life or theirs, you can get our Kit for Life guarantee enacted by letting us know that this has happened, and we will replace everything that you have used absolutely 100% free of charge. And all you got to do is go to darkangelmedical.com and use the code cryptid25 for 25% off. That's going to be the biggest discount that we offer, and that's as a big special thank you to all of you out there. And if you want to come to training to learn how to use this med kit or learn how to react to a situation to where you are an asset rather than a liability, then look us up, look our training up. And if we're not in your area, shoot us an email, let us know, and we will definitely be interested in coming out to see you next year, because we're booking classes for 2023.
And on that note,
Hey everybody, this is Kerry Pocket Doc Davis from Dark Angel Medical, and you are listening to DA Ex Machina with DA Roberts. You may recognize me or some of my products from Dark Angel Medical in some of the Apex Predator, Lakeview Man, and Wild Hunt books, and you can get those products at www.darkangelmedical.com, along with training classes on how to use those products and save a life. Shoot us an email at info@darkangelmedical.com and be the difference.
What are we getting? Who's watching a video? Where's that coming from?
That ain't my video.
That's a playback from us.
Okay, to be fair, you unmuted me. I was not supposed to.
I didn't touch the mute button. Folks, remember to use Dark Angel Medical's discount code Cryptid25 for 25% off. And in the comments section, if you will put something to reference of Wild Hunt or Team Odin, you can get the Team Odin rocker on the Velcro of your kit.
100%.
So, Taylor, were you replaying the video?
Yeah, I was just looking through. I was just making sure my audio sounded okay, and then you unmuted me, and now I'm embarrassed.
It muted the mics when I played the commercial, but then it unmuted itself.
I had muted myself before that though, because I went to the bathroom. So
it was so nice you had to play it twice.
The thing is when you play one of the commercials or one of the videos, it automatically mutes everybody's mics and then unmutes them when it's done. So I guess it took you off mute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know.
You'll be fine. It's not embarrassing. It's just funny.
I also had my headphones like this, so I could barely. So I barely heard somebody's playing something, and I was like, "Oh."
Oh, Reggie.
Yeah.
And kind of another shameless plug. Krista, will you tell everybody what is going to be happening not this weekend, but this coming weekend?
I sure will. It's Fall into the Supernatural, being held in Lexington, Missouri. Hold on, I have a dog scratching himself in a crate. I'm sure. Can you guys hear that?
I knew that sound.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Pause, quit. Okay.
You're all right.
Okay, so Fall into the Supernatural, September 23rd and 24th. DA is actually going to do our Sasquatch portion on Friday night for us. And then on Saturday, you're also going to be speaking. And then we have Katie Stafford, who her husband is KD Stafford on Ghost of Devil's Purge. He's been on Ghost Brothers, that show with Jack Osborne. He's been on several of them. And then we just have a whole great lineup of speakers. Intuitive medium Jessica Potter, good friend of mine. My co-host with Blondes and Booze, Erin, her and Jessica, they're going to do gallery readings. And so it's a little bit of metaphysics, cryptids, UFOs, and paranormal. And then we do a ghost hunt at the Ray County Museum that Saturday night. And the proceeds go to the Focus program, and they help veterans with PTSD and their families and stuff. So it'd be a cool event.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I might even be sober for part of it.
Only until midnight. Then that's when we put our drink on, right?
There we go. Absolutely. And I am really looking forward to that, folks. I hope you guys, if you have not had a chance to get your tickets for that, you can get those on eventbrite.com. When you get to Eventbrite, just search Fall into the Supernatural, Lexington, Missouri, and you'll find it. There are tickets still available. Hopefully you guys will sign up for the Bigfoot event on Friday night, because we're going to have a bonfire, and I'm going to make Jay Matoska's famous coffee over the fire, and we're going to see if we can't call something in, and we're going to talk about different techniques and research material, and we might even have a little bit of something stronger to lift a glass for Kerry at that one as well. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Also that evening, there's this is the first time that we've ever done like anything with Sasquatch. We've had speakers and stuff on it, but we have sold more of the tickets for the Sasquatch portion than we have the whole weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
And we only have there's just a handful of the VIPs left. So tickets are selling fast. I mean, they're so.
There's people who are probably excited for the Bigfoot thing to see what kind of shenanigans I'm going to cook up. Well, let's see what this moron's going to do this time.
Yep.
We go look at them Sam Squatches.
We're calling in some Sam Squatches.
There's some people that bought some tickets that I was surprised that I know them, and I had no idea that they were into the Sasquatch portion of it. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, I'm really thrilled about that. That is going to be awesome. Yeah. Don't forget to bring your folding camp chair. We are going to have a bonfire, and we're going to be talking a lot of stories. We're going to talk about not only different things like evidence collection and casting techniques, but we're also going to talk about methods used in investigations, and hopefully we can call something in. So bring your BYOB, bring your coffee cup, and bring your folding camp chair, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and where the location is, that's where I had my encounter. So
there is history in that location.
Yeah, and then the police officer I was telling you all about a little bit ago, his encounter was 7 miles from there. So,
which is a hop and a skip for a Bigfoot.
Yep.
I think much like mountain lions, I think they've got a massive range.
Mm-hmm.
David Bay had a good question, Krista. What time do y'all kick things off on Saturday morning?
We're going to have the opening ceremony will be at 8:30 in the morning, and it's a pretty cool deal. It's Horses Carrying Hope, and it's on horseback, and we play a rock version of the national anthem. It's pretty awesome. So it's 8:30 on Saturday morning.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And the following weekend from that, September 29th, 30th, and the 1st, so like the 1st of October, I'll also be at Archon in St. Louis. It's a sci-fi and gaming convention, and I will have the brand new book on the table there. I'm hoping to have it in time for Fall into the Supernatural, but I don't know if I'm actually going to get it that quickly. But the book is scheduled to be released. I don't know if you guys have seen the cover. Would you guys like to see the cover?
Sure.
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. No. Yeah. Well, yeah, duh. See it, man. Come on. That's like asking a fat kid if he wants to eat cake.
Well, if it will load, I will. I think it's too. Oh my God, it's too big of a file. Let me see. Hang on a second.
Get that tourniquet off your neck, DA.
That's right. It's it has to be no more than 10 meg, and apparently it is larger than 10 meg. So give me just a second to adjust.
Pop up earlier?
It did, but I don't know why it won't come up now.
Stephen Rivas. Wait, there's cake. Where? I don't know, man. I'm waiting for this damn cake too, man.
I'm hungry.
Same.
Want cake?
I'm always hungry.
My wife made me my mama's pound cake for my birthday. It was her recipe from 1958. Oh, so
I
good.
miss my mama's pound cake.
Lord have mercy. I cut half of it out and gave it to everybody else and said the rest of it's mine. So y'all can just sod off.
We make a thing called a Placek. It's Polish bread cake. It's awesome.
I got a question, Doc.
What's that, Taylor?
On pound cake, do you like the crust on the side or the gooey on the top?
Oh, I like the crust on the side, man.
I like them both, but like
there's nothing like that.
There it is.
The crust on the side.
Crust on the side.
Yeah, that's where it's at right there, man. I'm all about that.
Ooh.
It's like corner brownies. Ooh, I like
Really
that.
cool.
That turned out really good, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That looks good,
That
bro.
looks awesome.
I'm excited to get this one released. I think it's going to be pretty well received. I'm really proud of the story in this one. Norm actually helped me create the backstory for a lot of the characters and a lot of the characters in it. But it's something I've really enjoyed writing, and it's my other sci-fi books had elements of horror to it. This is hard sci-fi. This is like Robert Heinlein or Isaac Asimov sci-fi.
Yeah.
But it's character driven and action driven. So it's not a lot of heavy explanations on, hey, this is how this gravitic drive worked, or I don't get into the science, the technical end of it. It's very much like one of my Wild Hunt stories. It's character and action driven.
It's freaking phenomenal.
I like it, dude.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it. I read it in like 2 days.
Heinlein Starship Troopers meets Patton's Army.
That's the only thing about DA's books, man. They're like a big old bag of Lay's. You can't eat just one. You know what I mean? You gotta go for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't stop.
No, you can't stop.
I mean, it's mainly air in the bag, so it's not as much as it seems like.
I don't want to pull out the Princess Bride on that one. I don't think that means what you're supposed to think it means.
I don't think that word means what you think it means. No, and it's like, we've always told DA he's the what's the shit, Robbie, help me out here, man. I'm
Godfather.
Tom Clancy of Cryptids.
Tom Clancy of Cryptids. I told him that a long time ago, and I was like, dude, you are. He's like, shut up, man. And I was like, no, seriously, bro. You're like the Tom Clancy of Cryptids.
I appreciate it. Those are some huge shoes to fill.
No, man. I mean, I ain't blowing smoke up your butt, man. It's one of these things. I've watched your character progression, your character evolution, and your writing style change over the years. Because I've known you since you were writing the Ragnarok series, and it has. Dude, if y'all have not read his books, read his books, because you will not regret one single minute of it, and you're going to be pissed when you're finished with a series and you're waiting for the next one to come out. Believe me. So,
Amen.
Yep.
So that's just my personal love for you, DA. So,
thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
I love you, brother.
Me too, brother.
I'm not a big sci-fi guy. I like more, but I read this last book and I was just like, man, I can't wait for the next one. I mean, it drew me in, and I'm not a, I've watched Star Trek and Star Wars and all that stuff, but I'm not one of those diehard into sci-fi like that. I'm more in the horror base and the action military type stuff. But this it blended everything so well,
seamlessly.
Yeah,
seamlessly.
It wasn't. I mean, you were reading about different races and aliens and things like that, but it just felt like you were
there.
It was just a tank crew that was going through whatever they were going through, and you just got so invested in the characters and their story that it didn't matter that I wasn't a big sci-fi fan. I was so invested in wanting to know what was going to happen to them that the rest of that stuff just kind of melted away, and it was just
It sucks you in like a black hole, man. And it's like Karen Paulson just said, read them multiple times, because I guarantee you, it's just like watching a movie. You're going to pick something else up that you didn't pick up the last time. And you're like, oh, that makes
DA laughs at me all the time. He says, you've read Lakeview Man one too many times, hadn't you? I said,
yeah, absolutely.
I think I've read Lakeview Man 6 or 7 times, maybe.
So, DA, where do we buy DA books?
All of my books are available on my website, which is daroberts.net. And you can also find them all on Amazon. Just search DA Roberts or any of the titles in any of the books, and it'll bring you up on Amazon. But they're all currently available with direct links. If you go to daroberts.net, you can purchase them directly from Amazon through the links.
Yeah, and you may see some really badass medical kits and some medical scenarios. I'm just saying.
For somebody that looks like Doc.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, just ignore those.
Just ignore those. Those are irrelevant. Those are totally irrelevant to the storyline.
Something Something I
Some
meant to
little
ask you, Doc.
shooting dog man, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
Those medical scenarios always start out with a text. Hey, fucker, you up?
I think I just wrote myself in a corner. What do I do?
Yeah. I'm like, I read it, and he's like, I'm like, dude, he's dead, man. He's like, shit, I got to rewrite the whole thing now. So, no.
Yeah, he ain't making it out.
Who needs a medical kit when you can just rub some dirt in it?
There you go. Rub some dirt in it, and
Just walk it off.
Give him some Motrin, walk it off. That shit'll buff out. You're fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When I first wrote the scene in Apex Predator Wolf Moon where Mike Blanchard gets attacked, I sent the scene to Doc. I'm like, will this guy survive? And he texted me back 2 words, fuck no. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta fix this scene. How do I treat this? He's like, well, he's gonna do a lot less damage if you want it to be treatable.
Yeah. I was like, no, he's pretty much FUBAR, brother.
He's told.
David Page has asked, Doc, what was that about the snowmobile? Brother, read Curse of the Wendigo, and you will laugh, because that's one of the things about us as medics. We have the most extreme gallows humor, and even in horrible situations, we try to maintain that levity there, because the situation is already dire enough as it is. You know, and we try to maintain that levity to try to boost our teammates' spirits, as it were. And so it's read that whole book. It's in the first 2 chapters, DA?
Yeah, it's in the first couple chapters.
Yeah, and so it's freaking awesome. He wrote that, and he's like, dude, I did this in your voice the whole time. So yeah, read Curse of the Wendigo. And I think Cam how's that coming on audiobook, DA, from Cam?
The audiobook is, well, all of the elements that we need to do are done. The problem is ACX takes forever to do any of this stuff. Whenever you submit it to ACX, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks for them to approve the audio. And that's where we're at. We're essentially waiting on the audio now. So I could get an email tomorrow that says it's ready, or it might be another month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be on my road trip to Texas. That's for sure. Oh, David said he's read it several times. Man, you know the scene, man. You know the snowmobile scene. It's one of my favorite ones out there.
We're getting quite a few subscriptions tonight. Thank you, everybody that's been subscribing tonight.
Yeah, if you like us, subscribe to us. That's what keeps us going. Tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell them to tell their friends, because it's the small.
We're going to talk about that tonight, DA.
What's that?
We're going to talk about that tonight. The 3K.
Yes, we are. We'll get to that here shortly. But it's one thing, we were just before the show we did on Saturday night, we got within 5 of breaking 3,000 subscribers. Within an hour of the show going off the air, we had broke 3,000 subscribers. Then we did the 9/11 tribute show, and I didn't think it was really appropriate to do it on that show. But tonight we're going to do the giveaway for the 3,000 subscribers. And we have a few things that we're giving away. I'm going to be giving away at least one autographed copy of the book of a book of your choice. Whoever wins. Robbie, did you have something you were throwing in?
Yeah, I mean, I can show an example of what we can do. Hang on just a second. Let me grab it.
Well, hell, I got something I'll throw in too. Then let's make it even sweeter.
Doc, you mind if I?
Doc, nobody wants
to show yours as an example.
Let's do it, brother.
Doc, nobody wants naked pictures of you.
All right.
That's my OnlyFans. That's my OnlyFans account.
It's actually only fan.
As I say, it's my no fans account.
All right, this is the one that Doc is getting. But I can do something custom, and Taylor and I have a company, and
surprise.
Well, if I can get it in, there we go.
I love that. That is so awesome.
Man, that is saucy.
There we go.
Good
And this was
Lord.
done. This was done. If, as you see, this big hunk of machinery behind me, that is my CNC machine.
Doc.
And like I said,
Well, thank you,
that
Big
is-
Dahlia.
but I can do we can do a custom order on that, and that's what's well, Taylor's gonna throw. I'll let her tell what she's gonna throw in, but the stuff that we're doing from Lone Wolf Customs to go in there, so we can do a custom.
Show it one more time, Robbie. Let's see that again. Let's see it again in all its glory. Hold it up close to the screen. Oh man, that's fine. That is fine.
I like that. That is awesome.
I like it a lot.
Good job.
I spent way too much time painting those letters and stuff in.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
He decided after he put the clear coat on that he wanted the letters painted black, and so I had to paint over gloss, which my paint didn't want to stick to.
Well,
Hey, we got it done. That's all that matters. So, but yes, we can do something like this. The Wild Hive already got that program in. You want something custom done? We can work on that. Obviously, that one it'll take stuff like that. It'll take a little bit more time to get out, but this is something we all talked about. That we all wanted to throw something in from the things that we could all do. We wanted to give to y'all for subscribing to us and not just said keeping us going. So, and I'll let Taylor talk about what she's going to add to the mix too. She has part of her part of Lone Wolf that she does.
Yeah,
Well,
part of Lone Wolf Customs is Lone Wolf Vinyl. So I do custom vinyls and stickers. So there will be some stickers in there. There'll be Wild Hunts, what's really out there, Lone Wolf Customs, some different quotes from some different stuff that you might recognize from the books, different things that DA sent over to me. So yeah, if I had an example, I'd show you, but I don't. I mean, those stickers right there, I printed, so there you go.
You're awesome.
On my dresser.
Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate it.
That's
You're
great.
awesome. And then William Nighthawk is going to throw in a cryptid creature buckskin bag.
Yep.
How about that?
Hell yeah. Hell, I want to win that.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
I'm not in the drawing though, folks.
None of us are. So
It would be my luck. I'd win my own book. I'm kind of crazy.
well, your wife already makes fun of you for reading your own book. So
Oh yeah. Well, I sometimes, in order to keep the continuity straight from book to book, sometimes I will have to go back to an old book and start reading passages. And my wife just rips on me like, "Why are you reading your own book? You wrote the damn thing." I'm like, "I forgot the details." I gotta go back and refresh myself. I got 27 books. I can't keep them all straight.
And everything's in the details.
Devil is in the details.
Hey, DA,
Yes, ma'am.
while everybody's throwing stuff in, Blondes and Booze will throw in a 30-minute reading with Erin. She can do it over phone or internet or whatever.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you.
nice.
That's awesome.
This package is getting better and better.
Yeah.
Well, how
So-
about this? We'll throw in a Dark Angel Medical hat,
Well, let me.
as
That's-
well as
The vinyl patch.
Very high quality material.
high quality, made in the U.S. of A.
Robbie and Taylor, is yours a package deal or are they separate?
We'll put all those in
Okay.
one package. Send to them.
Yeah, we'll throw
I just have
a hat and a patch in with our package. DA.
All right, I'm
I just
writing
have to get
everything
my
down.
crap together.
Man, this is getting sweet. Y'all better jump in and give us a like and subscribe.
Okay, so we've got 5 prizes. Actually, we're going to make it 6. One will be a book, and the other will be a audio code.
Hey, DA, you still got some of mine, don't you?
Do what?
You still got a few of mine, don't you?
Few of what? Oh, yeah.
Throw in one of those.
The
Yeah.
fuzzy gods patches.
The cookbook.
Oh, I will have to find them.
Are the patches done?
No, these are the first ones he did.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for those.
I'll even throw in a can koozie. How about that?
Oh, I need
All
one of
right.
them, Doc.
Well, alrighty. We at one point we were up to like 160 people watching, and we're right at 139 right now. So whoever left, they're about to miss out on all the drawings.
Y'all suck.
One thing I did want to say though, before we did the show on Saturday night, when we were gearing up toward 3,000, we were at 2975. And right at the when we went off the show, we were going off the air. I checked, and we were at 2995. So we were 5 away. We're at 3107. So in just a few days, we've gained 130 new subscribers,
Man,
which is
that's awesome.
freaking awesome.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool.
I can't believe that. I mean, that was just a huge burst.
Mhm.
Yep.
It means when we get to 10,000, we're going to have to give something really spectacular away. You can win Doc's car.
I'll make a bigger sticker.
We'll give away a med kit. There we go.
Yeah, give away a med kit.
I might have to give away a series.
How about
And
dinner with DA?
we'll step up to an epoxy thing like yours is on the 10K.
So the one you're going to give away, Robbie, how big is that one going to be?
It's 11 by 21, 11 and a quarter by 21. Right, Taylor?
That's a big rascal.
Yeah, I think 11 and a quarter by 21.
You know what I think would be really cool is to do like a distressed flag with the DAX Machina logo in the middle of it. I think that would be pretty badass.
We can do that.
We can definitely do it.
Taylor's chanting her inner Vanna right now.
Between me running the machine and her doing the artwork, we can make any of them. And remind me sometime, DA, and I'll show you some of the actual stuff and our stuff that we've done that backs up to it. We did a sign for a buddy of mine's father-in-law. His friend owned a pub here in town, and we got it was a street sign with a Corvette on it, and
I like that.
It looked identical to the. I mean, she painted it, made it look that way. I just run the program on the machine. Her artwork's what makes it really pop. But we can make anything work.
Awesome.
Folks,
if you're not trying to make here,
folks, if you're watching on Facebook, please jump over to the YouTube channel because the randomizer we use is called Nightbot, and it doesn't work with Facebook. For some reason, it does not get along with the Facebook algorithm. So you need to be watching live on the YouTube channel, and you also need to have commented within the last few minutes. So you have to be an active commenter. So if you guys are lurking, all you got to do is say hi. Just type a series of series of characters. Just get a comment in there, because if you're not commenting, Nightbot doesn't notice you're there. Pink Dahlia's right. Nightbot is kind of temperamental.
DA, here's one for the 10K giveaway. Chris Miller, Doc Snowmobile.
Get a shoebox full of parts.
one slightly used snowmobile.
Slightly violated snowmobile.
I was trying not to give anything away, but
Missing a panel and everything. Like it's only half of it.
one spark plug. That's all you get. Probably all you want.
If you're lucky, we'll throw in the steering wheel.
Yeah.
We've got 7 things to give away, all told. So we'll do the first one. We'll give it about 10-15 minutes before we do the first one, and you guys, make sure you get over to the YouTube channel so you'll be considered. Make sure you got a comment. Hey, guy I went to high school.
Back in chat, so
Roger Jutras is a guy I went to school with and used to play D&D with years ago. Hey, buddy.
If we do get to that 10K one, I can also do one of these. It's a painted piece of wood.
Oh, I like
Kind of
that.
cool. It's a little bit bigger than a sticker, so I could throw that in for a 10K.
Nice.
That's
Very
Yeah,
awesome.
it's my
I'll probably have to do a whole series for the 10K giveaway.
And
Yeah.
that picture she's holding up, that is completely hand painted. That's not a sticker. She paints the entire things.
Oh, that's
Those
nice.
are really cool.
Nice.
I've got quite a few of these.
She's an artiste.
You're a talented young lady, Taylor. That
Yes,
is
you are.
awesome.
And then I'm
Right.
not gonna show the last one because I didn't let it dry full enough and it got messed up.
Wow.
But yeah, I can throw in one of these bad boys because I haven't sold any, so they're just sitting around collecting dust.
Right on.
It's
Awesome.
beautiful work.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm altering Nightbot, so it's not just in the last 5 minutes. You'll have to have commented within 15 minutes of when we do the drawing. So guys, get those comments in, and here in about 10 minutes, right at 10 o'clock, we'll do the first giveaway. I was going to say something else and completely lost my train of thought.
Train wreck.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Patches. Books.
Ow, I have a splinter in my shoulder now.
Music. Food.
Oh, Pink Dolly says she'd happily throw in a piece of jewelry. That makes 8.
Very
Thank you,
cool.
Pink.
Dahlia.
Thank you.
There's a splinter in
Wow,
my shoulder.
that's a lot. Holy moly!
This is a hell of a prize package. That's awesome.
Heck yeah,
We're just setting the bar a lot higher for ourselves on the 10K. So we
That's
just,
correct.
yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'm
Mark
just
Napier.
stickers.
Mark Napier said needs a spear kit. I said that'll be coming in 10K, brother.
Stephen Bishop says, "I really like to see Margolin hit a dog man in the face with a cast iron frying pan. Don't ask me why; it'd just be epic."
you know what? That
Good stuff for that.
that is completely believable too.
And that wouldn't be the dumbest thing he'd ever done either.
No,
No.
you know who that
As long
Margolin has? He has a twin in Dog Soldiers. Spoon. Remember when he got the fist fight with the dog man?
Yeah.
That's Margolin.
Werewolf 5674 had a question for you, Robbie. He said, "Robbie and Taylor, do you have an address where people can talk to you about making something?
Yeah,
Commission."
you can send it to my email, which is RRAINESC and the number 8 at gmail.com. Taylor, if you want to give yours out too, just in case they'll have 2 of them.
Yeah, if you want to do any paintings or vinyls, it's TAYRAINES31 at gmail.com.
If you guys will text those to me, I'll post them in the chat.
Okay.
Here's
Daddy,
something for you,
got
DA.
it. You send them both.
No, you just you send them both to him that way, because he won't get
Okay.
2.
Kurt said
Much
something-
much like any other night, anytime we go live, I immediately get 7,000 messages.
Kurt said someone should make a poster of Doc's snowmobile and the Wendigo scene.
Send me the picture of the snowmobile, Doc. I might be able to get it done.
Oh, that would be awesome. We'll have to censor out the squishy bits.
The squishy bit.
It might make it easy.
Okay, I'm going to post both those. If you guys want to reach out to Robbie or Taylor about commissions, those are in the chat now. And Krista, I'll have them reach out to you. For the reading. So what we'll do is we'll get everybody's email addresses. Have it, and whoever wins, we can just post it in the chat. If you're watching anything on, actually, if you go to the YouTube page and just mute it, you can answer them directly. And so whenever that prize is won, you can give them your email address. Yeah, we should do that. Okay, we're coming up. We got about 6 minutes till we're going to do the first giveaway. Make sure Nightbot has not timed out on me.
I don't know what keeps popping up. I was trying to close it out, but it keeps popping up.
You just like the
Damn it,
idea.
Robert.
Sorry.
He just really wants somebody to do it.
I know,
Damn it,
right?
Bobby.
Like, let me remind you.
Damn it, Bobby, get that tourniquet off your neck. You're scaring Ladybird.
Okay.
West with a man's propane. It's not American.
Okay. Who keeps popping that up?
No, it kept, I kept trying
I
to shut it
can't.
down. It was me. It was
Not me.
me. It was me. I was kept trying to shut it down, and it kept popping. Damn it! All right.
Thanks, love it.
Okay. Trying to catch up with all the comments. Sorry. Let's see. We got 5 minutes. Let's talk dogmen for a minute. We got 5 minutes until we do the first one. Nightwalk says, "Man, drum roll, please." Yeah, we got to wait a couple more minutes though.
Dogmen. All right. We got 3.5 minutes left. Dogmen. Robbie.
Yeah.
Dogmen.
Okay, Dogman. Let's go back to the dog soldiers thing again, and Margolin beating up the dog man, or excuse me, Margolin's twin brother beating up the dog man.
Yes.
No, seriously, something else about that movie that I really, really liked about it was how he didn't really go into why they were the way they were. It was just almost like, this is what it is. It was an accepted thing. So it was almost like we're not trying to wow you with the fact that these things exist. It's just, okay, they exist. How do we get ourselves out of this situation? And it was just more matter of fact of, okay, we're in this situation. How do we get out of it? We don't care that it's a werewolf or a dog man or whatever. We just need to find out how to get out of it, which kind of, like I said earlier, reminds me of the way DA's books are written. They're grounded in reality.
Yeah.
And
Was he the same guy that told the werewolf, "I hope I give you the shits"?
yep, that would be Spoon.
Yeah.
That's Margolin.
That's Spoon.
I love that
do
line.
what?
I can see Margolin saying that.
And good question from Stephen Bishop. Do you think dogmen feed off fear?
Yes.
I think all
they seem to terrorize people. I think so.
I think they all do. I mean, do we not as human beings give off certain pheromones when we're scared?
They may not necessarily feed off of it, but
They sure react to it.
definitely,
Yeah, they have heightened senses, right? It would stand to reason that they're an apex predator.
Mhm.
Good plug for your
It's
books.
just like it's just like whenever like, oh gosh, what is it? I forgot, but certain animals, if you act afraid, that's the only time they'll
Yeah.
go after you.
That's right.
If you act just casual, they won't touch you. But if you show you're afraid of them, that's when they go after you. They get some sort of like,
Well, it's
like they like doing it.
it's the
They
predatory response.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes them
absolutely.
feel dominant.
Because you're a soft target, right? You're a soft target. If you make yourself a
Yeah.
hard target, then they're not going to.
It's like if you run from a predator, it's going to chase you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It triggers that predatory response of, oh,
right.
that's got to be food. It's running.
That's right.
See, I think they do like feed off of like fear just because, you know, you hear of them like smiling at people, you know, so that's kind of a creepy, it's like, you know, obviously they're doing that on purpose, you know.
Yeah. I think they do. I think they enjoy instilling fear.
So it's got to be maybe that they are like a vampire, different types of vampires besides blood eaters. You know, they suck the fear, you know.
Well, you know, in so many dogman encounters, the primary way people would describe them is either hellish or demonic.
Yeah.
Those are the most common words used to describe a dogman. Taylor, this question was for you. She says, when you do art, you use a color wheel or out of your own mind?
So my only thing with painting is I'm bad at, like, unless I'm given this very specific thing to paint, I'm bad at coming up with things. So when I'm just painting for fun, like when I was doing these and just trying to think of anything, I'd go onto Pinterest and look up painting ideas, and I'd either do that or go off of it, and do something similar. But I've never been one for just using a color wheel. I definitely love color theory though. Like in art, that was my strongest thing. I was really good at the color wheel and color theory and everything, but I typically just go on Pinterest.
Man, I got really quiet all of a sudden.
Well, it's now straight up 10 o'clock. Let's do the first. Let's do the first drawing. Which one should we do first? Which prize?
Why don't you do it in descending order, the least to the highest?
I wouldn't say there any of them are least. There's some great prizes on here, but well, since William Nighthawk is listening in the chat, and I don't know how late he'll be with us, we'll do his first, and whoever wins it he can contact them directly through the chat. So we're going to do the leather bag,
The
cryptid bag.
Yep.
All right, so William, we're going to do yours first. Let's roll it. Drum roll, please. Hang on. Nightbot's being stupid.
Damn it, Nightbot.
Got jinxed.
Here, Nightbot. Grab my hand.
Okay.
Again, right?
Nightbot is being actively idiotic. I don't know what it's doing. Any other time it's worked fine.
Because the guys from the three-letter agency can't win the prizes.
Damn satellite.
Drum roll.
Maya giving the drum roll.
Yep.
Stephen Bishop said, Nightbot ain't got no gas in it.
I think you may be right.
How much you want for that Nightbot? Mm-hmm.
Here's Dog Woman. I got attacked by Dog Man the other day, Bucky. Here's Dog Woman.
No.
She's a lot sweeter.
Okay, Nightbot is not working at all.
Son of a biscuits.
God dang it. Well, I'll tell you what. Since we're doing Williams, Krista, you pick somebody. Just pick a name out of the chat.
All right. Let me log back in there. I'm just going to look away and touch my phone.
Okay.
So that way it's fair. And it is Vigilant Stranger.
Vigilant Stranger.
Mhm.
Hang on. Vigilant Stranger wins the prize from William Nighthawk. William, I just posted that in the chat. William, if you'll get with Vigilant Stranger, give him your email address, and you can take care of that directly. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. So we'll give it a couple minutes for that to get taken care of, then we'll do the next one. How about the next one we'll do will be Doc will do your hat and package.
All right. Well, not my package, but the hat and the patch and the koozie. Yes.
Yeah. We
Real packages.
small parcel post.
Yes. Yes. First class mail.
Just needs a stamp.
Just one stamp. That's all. One stamp.
So congratulations to Vigilant there. Okay, we're going to do the Doc's hat. Taylor, you want to pick somebody?
Sure. I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's not this exact hat, but I mean,
Maybe they might want that one.
it's got my essence on it.
Doc's musk is on it.
My musk.
It's got that Doc DNA on it.
60% of the time, it works every time.
You'll be able to clone your own Doc from the contents of that hat.
Oh,
Or
Lord,
leave it as a crime scene.
You only need a little test tube. He's not real big.
One of micro test tubes.
All right, ready?
Fire away.
It is Dorian Worthy.
Dorian Worthy?
Yes.
Doc, I'll let you reach out to Dorian Worthy.
All right, Dan.
All right, Dan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Dorian Worthy. All right, cool.
Okay.
George
Notice the
Jones.
influx of people commenting now that we've got prizes at stake.
Well, yeah, you got to comment. Got to get them comments in there. Okay. The next one I think I'll do is one of my audio codes. You can choose between Lakeview Man, Codename Wild Hunt, the first Ragnarok Rising series of the Ragnarok Rising books, Ragnarok Rising: The Awakening, or the first of my sci-fi books, the Lost Legion: Perdition's Flames. So you have to let me know which one of the audio codes you want, and we'll get that emailed out to you tonight. Who wants to pick this one?
I can try.
Apparently, the dog did.
Hi, Bucky. He was going like broke neck earlier whenever I was doing that. He's like, "Is that Taylor?
Uh-huh.
Why are you in a box?"
Let's see. Oops, excuse me. Julie S828.
Julie S828.
Congratulations, Julie.
Let me put that in the chat in case they missed it. So it's Julie.
Werewolf said he don't want Doc's package.
I don't want
Julie S828.
S828, yep.
Julie S828, reach out to me on this email address right here. Contact me at daroberts@daroberts.net. Let me know which one of the audio codes you would like. That can be Ragnarok Rising 1, Ragnarok Rising: The Awakening. It could also be Codename Wild Hunt, Odin's Call, Lost Legion: Perdition's Flames, or the Lakeview Man. I have all four of those available.
Congratulations, Julie. I have eyeliner running down my face.
Okay. just here and there says, I'm done. My hands hurt. Well, we're trying to hurry. We got a lot of prizes to go through.
Yeah, damn Nightbot ain't working.
Yeah, freaking Nightbot. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Nightbot.
Hooter Transport Doc's home circumcision kit.
I just read that.
Hey, that is a blindfold and a steel chainsaw. And a fifth of bullet bourbon.
That's a precision instrument there.
That's correct.
It's an open Dr. Pepper can and a kick.
And a big ladder. I need
Okay,
a wing and a live chicken.
and some beach preserves.
I'm gonna come over here with a weed eater.
I got the
All right.
Dr. Pepper.
All right, next we'll do the jewelry from Pink Dahlia. Jenny, if you're monitoring this, whoever wins, get them your email address so they can reach out to you for that. And thank you so much for doing that. William, thank you for doing it as well. Mitch Edwards says, Bic, only the best. Okay, so we'll do the jewelry. Doc, you pick this one.
Woo! Lord have mercy. I'm just going to go through chat. If it'll move. Good Lord. Chat move. Damn it. Look at that. It have stopped on Werewolf 5674.
Werewolf's going to win some jewelry.
His girlfriend.
Oh, look, pretty Werewolf.
Werewolf 5674. Get with the Pink Dahlia in chat. She'll give your email address. And I don't want to know what you do with the jewelry.
No.
Where you put it.
That's right. No judgments. You can wear it wherever you like. We won't judge you.
Yes, as long as it's not silver jewelry. That's true. Show said that. Hope it's not silver jewelry.
Make sure it's gold or something.
All right. Next, I'll do a copy of Norm's book. It's called EMT Eats. It's a cookbook made from recipes that the EMTs and firefighters came up with around the station. And it's not just all ramen noodles, as you might think, but there's some really good recipes in there. And let me know. Let me know at the same email address because I've got copies of the book. I'll mail that out to you this week. I will try to get that mailed out before the weekend. So just contact me. Give me your contact information at daroberts@daroberts.net. And Robbie, pick one.
All right, round and round she goes.
This is more fun than Nightbot, actually, to be honest.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Stupid Nightbot.
Stupid Nightbot.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. I'm not there.
My authority.
I am the law, and you will respect my authority.
And we've got AJ Congdon.
AJ Congdon wins the EMT Eats. AJ, if you shoot me an email at daroberts@daroberts.net, I'll get that book mailed out to you. Along with, I actually still have a couple of the little wristbands that Norm had made with the books. So I'll send you out a cookbook, one of those bands, and you might not.
Beanie weenies and some
Yeah.
ramen noodles.
Yeah. You have to go by Walmart and get you some ramen noodles and some Bisquick.
We make it fancy beanie weenies.
Right.
It's just ramen noodles. I love ramen noodles.
It's
Me
like-
too, man.
It's so good.
I tell you, you haven't seen ramen noodle
butter.
recipes until you've seen what inmates come up with. Oh my God.
Man,
I love putting butter in my ramen. It's so good.
that's some gourmet stuff right there.
There you go.
Or ramen
No,
noodles
that's how
and
you,
our
that's
Reese.
called, I'm from the South.
Heck
Some
yeah.
butter in my ramen.
Or some
Okay,
bacon
so
grease.
AJ, reach out to me on my email address there, daroberts@daroberts.net, and I'll get that mailed out to you. Next, we're going to do the Blondes and Booze package, the reading. Krista, since that's your prize, I'll let you pick.
All right, let me look away again.
All righty.
It is Blue Cruise.
Blue Cruise. You want a reading, dude? That is awesome. I think
Heck
you're really
yeah.
going to like that. That is a really wicked package. So awesome.
And Aaron's very good too.
So, Krista, if you will, get Blue, just post your email address in the chat.
Oh, it is blondesandbooze@gmail.com.
Is it an ampersand or is it actual the word and?
Blondes and spelt out.
Okay.
Blondesandbooze@gmail.com.
he also doing like hot sauce and stuff or peppers with my ramen. I can't do spicy. I will die. But thank you for the suggestion.
I do like spicy.
Yeah,
This guy loves spice.
that's for him right there. Not me. I will die.
If you ain't sweating, you ain't eating.
My youngest son and I were making a hamburger helper last night, or I refer to it as ghetto burger helper. But we were making hamburger helper last night, and while I wasn't watching, he got the ground jalapeno and was like, so yeah, I got the part 2 of that meal today.
Come on, ice cream! Come on, ice cream!
Mitch Hebert wants to know if we gave away the fleshlight yet. No, Doc's still using it.
This chat is killing me.
Doc's still using it.
Why everybody got to be hating on Doc tonight?
Because Anthony ain't here.
Yeah, because Anthony ain't here.
There you go.
He had
always a damn medic.
Yeah.
See, y'all always pick on me till you on you flat of your back and looking up at me. Then it's a different story.
Anthony had a date with a 64 count box of crayons tonight, so he couldn't be with us.
That's called a Marine Corps all-you-can-eat buffet.
That's right.
Exactly
Marine
right.
Corps MRE. All right, well, next we'll give away the Robbie and Taylor package. Taylor,
Really?
you can pick that one.
There you go, Taylor.
Okay. It is David Bay.
Whoa, David!
Beye.
Awesome. That is a cool package to win. Well, David, get with what's your email again? Oh, I still got it over here. I'll just copy and paste it again.
Yep. Just put it out there.
It would be him, because
So just post Robbie's.
Yeah.
All right, give me just a second.
He handles all the customer stuff.
Customer service.
Customer service.
All right, David, if you will reach out to Robbie at this email address, rainsc8@gmail.com, and he will get you hooked up with that package, which is freaking cool of you, brother. That's a lot of work you're putting into that. I really appreciate it, brother.
Mm-hmm. My pleasure.
Heck yeah. That is a sweet, sweet piece of work y'all do, man. Really.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Doc.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get mine. Put it up in my cave.
Well, it should be coming out or getting mailed out this week.
I apologize in advance. I had to label something that it was specifically from me because he didn't like the way I packaged it.
It's fine, sugar. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Werewolf, if you want to reach out to me, I'll give you Pink Dahlia's email address. She sent it to me in Messenger. So, Werewolf5674, send me an email at daroberts@daroberts.net. I'll give you her email so you can reach out to her. I guess she probably didn't want to post it. No.
Yeah, and William and Pink Dahlia out there in the chat, man. Thank y'all so much for making this giveaway even better. Thank y'all.
Oh yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate y'all for that.
Monty and chat said fried alligator and ramen. I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Had me at fried alligator.
Dude, I'm down like 4 flat tires on that one.
That sounds good. Like I don't know if you saw me. I looked over. I went.
I like me some gator. That's some good stuff.
Doc, your little euphemisms like that, like the 4 flat tires and the fat kid on the seesaw. I started saying those, and my wife's like, "Where the hell are you getting all these?" I'm like, "I blame Doc."
It's Doc's fault.
It's Doc's
You
fault.
pick up things from people. Like you'll start doing things that people do, and you don't even realize it.
See, that's the thing. Doc says it, and I talk like that and hear that every day.
It's all normal speak.
Gators like chicken, but better.
Me and Doc is cut from the same cloth.
We are. I mean, dude, David Bay said mountain oysters are good. Actually, David Bay, they are. Mountain oysters are freaking delicious, man.
The secret is you got to cut them up real high.
That's right. We used to call them calf fries. When I was a kid, we'd rope and brand our cows on our farm, ranch, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, calf fries are delicious. My mama would never eat them. But
Makes me think of a joke I heard. I'll tell this real quick. There's a guy visiting Spain. He goes to the bullfights, and he really enjoys it. He goes to this restaurant after the bullfights, and there's this guy sitting there with a plate, this steaming plate with these giant meatballs on it. And he's like, I'll have that. And they're like, oh, no, you have to order that in advance. That only happens after the bullfight. That's from the bull. The guy's like, well, can I order it for tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, come back tomorrow, and we'll have it for you. So he comes back the next day, and he gets this plate, and they're little bitty tiny. He goes, what? The guy yesterday got these huge ones. What is this for? He goes, the bull doesn't always lose.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Oh, Lord.
That's my bad joke for the night.
I wish Anthony was here. I got a Marine Corps joke for y'all.
I love how you say that like it's not the
Hey,
first
wait for
thing.
Anthony to be here. I'd hate to have to explain it twice.
I'll do it when Anthony's here. So I got a Marine Corps joke for y'all about helicopters. Y'all appreciate this.
There we go. Tombstone says, DA, you got to try some kangaroo someday if you haven't already. Real tasty. So is emu. I've had emu, but I've never had kangaroo. I would try kangaroo.
Emu's delicious, man.
As long as I don't have to go out and punch it in the face to subdue it.
The weirdest thing I ever ate was alpaca, and that's actually pretty good.
I've had rattlesnake. I've had bear.
Yep.
I've had
Alpaca.
possum. Oh, no thanks on the possum.
Possum's greasy.
Alpaca.
Real
What I
greasy.
had.
Bless
I'm trying
you.
to think of what the weirdest thing I've eaten is, but I'm such a picky eater. Like textures and stuff, like any wrong texture will make me throw up. I can't do crunchy in a sandwich.
Yeah, see, my wife's the same way, man. But I love coconut cream pie, but she'll eat regular coconut, but she don't. She's like, I don't like the coconut flakes in it. I'm like,
I get that. Yeah,
You're-
like if I
I don't like
bite-
coconut either.
Like
I
I don't
love
mind the taste of lettuce, but if I bite into a sandwich that's all soft, like the bread, cheese, meat, and then I get
Yeah.
a crunch of lettuce, I will immediately puke.
I don't. The only things I want to eat are beef liver, beets, and green bell peppers.
Ooh,
That's
liver and onions.
Oh,
That's good.
negative.
All right.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
The last of the giveaways will be an autographed book. Since I have pretty much one of everything on hand at the moment, since I'm gearing up for Fall into the Supernatural, just have to let me know which one you want. So it'll be the book of your choice. It'll be autographed. If you want it made out specifically, let me know. So we will do the final giveaway, which is an autographed book of your choice. So let's see. Doc? Pick somebody. Pick me somebody.
Pick them, Doc.
All right.
Pick him and flick him, Doc. Oh, wait. No, wrong one.
He's
That's
gonna
like a
comment
booger.
real quick and then pick himself.
Nah, then.
Oh, let me see here. Cowboy 5 rings.
Oh, cowboy.
Yeah.
All right. Cowboys 5 rings. Reach out to me at daroberts@daroberts.net. Tell me which book you would like to have autographed, and if you'd like it personalized in any way, send me that email, and I'll get that out to you this week.
Congratulations on the winners.
That is all of them. We have given away like a record number of stuff. I've never given away this much before. It's freaking awesome. Thank you to everybody. Krista, thank you so much for donating.
Welcome.
Robbie, Taylor, thank you guys. Norm, thanks for the cookbook idea. That's awesome. Doc, thank you for your stuff. William and Pink Dahlia, Jenny, thank you guys so much. And that is to celebrate our 3,000 subscribers, which we're now at 3,107. But we are off and running, folks.
Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Hope you all enjoy.
We'll probably do something similar at 5, but we'll do something big at 10.
Yes, sir. We're off and running. We'll be as big as San Francisco in no time.
Everyone in the chat is talking
Very
about
cosmopolitan.
Very cosmopolitan. Now, and y'all just wait for 4,000 and 5,000 and 10,000. Whew! Shut your mouth. It's gonna be fine.
Doc's going to give away his grandma's famous pecan pie.
I will give y'all the recipe because I make it
Nah, you can't do that.
several times a year, y'all.
Recipes are gold. You can't
Well,
give them away.
he gave me the recipe, and it is quite good.
For the 5,000 giveaway, we're going to release an audio of Doc and me talking, like Dusty Rhodes and Bobcat Goldthwait.
You do that
In
anyway.
American Dream, Dusty Roads.
Basically, you're gonna smack your neck and hide your clothes because he's a bull of the woods.
Okay,
And
you don't need a milestone for that. You do that anyways.
some blood hole in him and walk it dry.
He did the atomic elbow. We used to call it the Fatalanche.
Oh Lord.
I
That's
wined and dined with kings and queens and slept in an alley and dined on pork and beans. Jack.
Stephen Bishop says, I want Jay's coffee recipe. Well, you know,
There's a recipe for coffee.
that is the secret recipe. That is the joke in the book is, I'll tell you one day, but it's not today. So we might just have to do something like that because it is a real thing.
Okay, DA, I got a thing for you because I got my mama's cornbread recipe, which was my great grandma's cornbread recipe, and I don't know how many y'all do. How many y'all do for Thanksgiving? How many y'all do stuffing?
I like stuffing.
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nope.
we don't
I hate
do
stuffing.
stuffing down in Mississippi. We do cornbread dressing, and
Cornbread dressing.
I have a cornbread dressing.
Doc, you went quiet. We can't hear you.
His lips are moving.
Don't hear you. Don't hear a lick, man.
I guess Grandma doesn't want him to give it away.
Grandma don't want you giving that recipe away. We can't hear you, boy.
She said, "Shut your dang mouth."
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth and go get it.
Big K Show says cornbread's so good it messed with his mic. Doc, did you unplug it?
No.
What the heck, man?
It's the gremlins, Doc. It's them gremlins.
The NSA doesn't want him giving out that cornbread recipe.
She said, "Do not give out my recipe."
Damn satellite.
That's just gonna be the way he talks to us. He's just napkin.
What the heck happened? Holy crap. Okay, he's going back out and coming back in probably.
The Wendigo stopped it.
The Wendigo stopped it. There we go.
Hear my back?
Well, we hear you now.
Damn it, Bob.
Yeah, he is. Damn satellite. I'm saying I'll give y'all we could do a DAX Machina recipe book for everybody in the panel. Let's do a little recipe book for our favorite recipes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Like Norman did with the EMT recipes. I think that would be fine. I guess my grandma said,
"Don't you dare give me my recipe."
No, man, she freaking threw some gremlins up in there or something real quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you don't.
I hear Bucky complaining.
Nah, Bucky ain't saying a word.
Oh, somebody else is whining.
I think
Mine, I'm sorry.
I think that'd be good, DA.
No, okay.
Do a wild hunt recipe book, man. That'd be fine.
I like it.
Well, I already have a few that I put together.
Yeah.
I have recipes for, and these are straight out of the books, for White Bear's Wahampi, White Bear's fry bread, Wiley's homemade biscuits, and a easy Irish old fashioned.
Son, I got cornbread. I got cornbread dressing. I got pecan pie. I got a Doc Holiday cocktail. That is fine.
We could each throw in a page, but when you get to docs, it's just blurred out.
Yeah,
And then at the bottom it says, "Sorry, Grandma said no."
Yeah. It'll be all redacted, redacted.
I can throw in Amanda Sanchez's Mexican casserole.
There we go.
Ooh, I love Mexican casserole.
Let's do that, man. And
Amanda Sanchez Clark.
I'll put in my recipes for fry bread and Wahampi.
this is hilarious. I wonder what kind of recipe Marglin would come up with. Probably goulash.
It had to be something to do with an MRE.
Yeah.
Whatever MRE, and just put a crap load of Tabasco sauce on it.
And peach preserves.
Custard.
My
Yeah,
mom
you
took-
might actually find out what he's going to do with them raspberry preserves.
No, we could. That'd be good, man. That'd be good for the giveaway. Is to do a recipe book. I like that.
I could publish it the same way I publish my books. We could put it out just for sale on Amazon if anybody wanted it, and then give away some copies.
How many of y'all out there in chat would want that? We got 190 y'all in there, so
Toshi the Wolf says, or Rippets.
Rippets.
Or a Margolin survival guide.
Yeah.
Embrace the suck, Margolin.
That's
I've
right.
thrown some recipes I've gotten from my grandparents, but only thing I've ever come up with is ripping open Hawaiian rolls and putting pizza stuff in them.
Looks like there's a lot of people that are be interested in that recipe book.
There you go. We'll do Margolins would be Rippets and Copenhagen. So
Copenhagen soap can Rippets.
Mexican casserole. Mexican casserole.
Ramen and
definitely
MREs.
has to be in there.
yeah, I think that'd be good. D, I'll send you some recipes, man.
All right, and
I will
we'll
too.
compile that and do a recipe book for Wild Hunt themed or codename Apex Predator or something.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Krista,
See?
you want in on this?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
More than just a hat rack.
I can throw in some traditional Southern sweets from my grandparents' recipe book.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Peanut butter balls, boiled custard, pecan pie,
Mm.
banana pudding.
Nanner pudding.
I
Good
love
Lord.
banana pudding.
Ain't nothing like good old nanner pudding.
Mm. I like it when the vanilla wafers get a little bit soggy and kind
Yes.
of chewy.
Vanilla wafers make it.
I love banana pudding. If there's
That's
banana
what's
pudding, you can ask my dad. There's banana pudding at a restaurant. I've already gotten it. I've already gotten to it.
All right, let's do it. Maybe
All right,
some pizza.
then.
All right, then. We need some biscuits with mustard. Mustard and biscuits and
Ducks.
potted meat.
Mhm.
I can edit that.
David Bice says can't go wrong with nanner pudding.
No.
No, you can't.
Hey, Clark, how about you load me up with some more of that bread pudding there? It is good.
Good.
I'll take some of the yeller and some of the red.
While you're at it, why don't you get you something really nice?
Real
Clark?
nice for yourself.
Does
This
anybody
is
else think
This
turkey
is just a
overrated?
real damn nice surprise.
That there is an RV. That's a quality vehicle.
Don't you go fall in love with it. It's leaving with us when we leave here next month.
Does anybody else think turkey is overrated, especially when there's honey? You could just have honey ham.
Much
Um,
overrated. 100% agree with you.
You've never had my
It's
Cajun
so-
turkey.
I don't like putting like what's supposed to be a nice juicy piece of meat in my mouth and it turning to powder. No, thank
then they're
you.
then they're
No, thank
overcooking the
you.
hell out of that
Yeah.
bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Turkey
rather
is
just
good if
have
it's
the
done
ham.
right.
I'd rather just have the ham. I've never had it done right. I'd rather just have the ham.
You know what the secret of turkey is? Throwing a
What?
whole bottle of Chardonnay up in that sucker and cooking it at 165 degrees. You cook it for
I
400
couldn't eat it
degrees.
then.
You cook it for 400 degrees for like an hour, and you cook it at 165 degrees with a bottle of Chardonnay in it.
I couldn't eat it then.
Oh, it'll cook the alcohol out of it. It's just
Yeah.
fine.
That gets evaporated. Plus,
Yeah.
you can eat it here at the house. You ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah. It's fine after that.
Mm-hmm. You ever have a deep fried turkey?
Woo, the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen somebody
Good.
put a frozen turkey in a deep fryer?
Yeah, I've been
Yep.
to their house as a fireman.
I have answered their call as a paramedic and taken care of burns. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It ain't good.
I started doing a Cajun turkey at Thanksgiving, and my boys just freaking love it.
That sounds good.
And it's
I don't
really
think
really
it's
moist.
Try.
Anything Cajun sounds good.
If it doesn't turn to powder, I'll try it.
Well, it's real easy. Tony Sacheres makes this injectable marinade, and it comes with this big freaking needle, and you just inject it right into the turkey, and then just make sure you're basting it and then I coat the outside with Tony Chachere's when I put the butter on it, and just spicy and good flavored turkey.
Mm.
Dad, you know what I could add in?
What?
My meat she.
That
Meat
Yeah.
sushi. Meat
What?
sushi.
it is good, Doc.
It's so good. So take some bacon.
What?
So
Meat sushi.
listen,
Oh,
listen.
That sounds delicious.
Listen.
Yes,
You
it
take some
is.
you take some bacon, you lay it out on some parchment paper, take some hamburger meat, you put some barbecue seasoning, like the rub in there, mix it up, it's a little sriracha, some barbecue, you mix it into the meat, you lay that down flat on the bacon, and the bacon has to be touching like you would lay down the seaweed or rice in a sushi roll. And then you put in some cheese and some bacon or whatever else you want in the middle. You roll it up, and then you put it on a grill, and you baste it with barbecue
have
sauce
Doc's
as you
attention.
turn it. It's so good. It's
Man,
Sounds really good.
But
That
you can,
sounds
like,
Kristen, don't that sound fine?
Sounds fabulous. Yeah.
I mean,
like
that sounds finer than a frog hair split 4 ways with a keen razor blade. Come on.
you
Sounds
can't
really
finish
good.
a whole
Hey,
roll though.
Doc.
Like
Doc,
there's stuff.
it is good.
Really nice,
I just
Clark.
I just
Really
had to make them
nice.
again because like I made too many the first time I did because it was like, oh, we'll each have a roll. Nope. Too much.
Big
Anything
thank.
with bacon in though is really good. So
Very true.
Bacon.
Oh, you also crush up chips. I think we did nacho cheese Doritos. You crush them up and roll them. You can roll
No,
your
I
piece
think
in
you
them.
did. I think you did the barbecue lays that time.
Oh yeah, I did. But you can roll them in whatever chips you want.
That sounds fine. Hey, Dorian Worthy, send me an email, man, because I'm going to send you some stuff.
William, thank you for that super chat. That is awesome. Thank you, man.
We went from cryptids to recipes. That's pretty awesome.
I know,
Well,
right?
I think
I'm
this recipe
hungry.
book is going to take off. I think we're going to do this.
I'm
So
hungry.
I've already got half a dozen recipes that I'd set aside for another project. We talked about doing one for the Horror Authors Guild, and it just kind of fell flat. But I've already got several recipes set aside, and I think we can. I think we can make this fly.
I
Let's
can,
do it.
I can
Oh,
edit the images.
I got some jambalaya. I got deer stew.
So let me ask you this: what are those dudes are always doing between hunts?
Eating.
They're cooking out by the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I love food.
They're
Food
always
fired firearms.
to refuel. So this would go right into what we're talking about.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I love me some
How much food was consumed in the Apex Predator book? The first 2 or 3 Apex Predator books.
Oh my God!
Those guys can put away some chow.
They
enough
can-
to fill the book.
There's probably if you combine the talk about the food from the first 3 or 4 books, that's probably a whole chapter
They
on food consumption.
Yeah, they can seriously throw down on some food, man. So
I'm
these
excited about
cats-
this recipe book now.
Yeah, I am too.
Now I
Especially
want to.
grandfather's coffee.
I want to make some more meat sheet now. I haven't made it in a while.
Okay, if we're gonna put grandfather's coffee in the cookbook, it's got to be for the big one for 5,000 or 10,000, because that was the one I've been saving for a while.
So you actually have the recipe, do you?
I've known it for a very long time.
You sneaky son of a gun.
It's not something I made up for the book. It was my Uncle Buddy's recipe.
You ain't
Jake?
shared that. We've known each other for over 10 years, DA.
I didn't
Nope.
know you wanted it. You
I'm
never
hurt.
said anything.
I'm hurt.
Well,
I'm
I'll
pretty sure he said something earlier.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later, brother. I don't want to say it on the air.
Robbie, can you pull this dagger out of my heart? Thank you. Good Lord. I didn't know that was a real thing. I thought that was just something made up.
You never asked.
Well, you never told me.
I love how you asked the author. You knew?
Well, yes, of
Like
course
you
I
didn't
did.
write the book.
Well, shit, it's fiction. I didn't know if it was something made up or not.
But the way you
1986.
said it, it's like you thought it was the Krabby Patty secret formula or something. It's like asking Mr. Krabs, you knew?
I'm today years old knowing this stuff. So I mean,
1980 CNH said they'd like to get in on this cookbook. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. If you guys have a favorite recipe that you would like to theme it as something from one of the books, but be it Will Gray Eagle's deer chili or something like that. If you want to throw that in and title it something from one of the books, email it to me at daroberts@daroberts.net, and we might just make that happen. I mean, Amazon does not have a limit to the size I can make it. I mean, it's just only thing it does is ups the printing cost.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. I
But
mean,
Yeti
it's only going to make us
spaghetti.
happier and
Yeti
faster.
spaghetti.
So why not?
Yeti spaghetti.
I have a really good recipe for a whiskey cake, and it's really good.
Ooh, that sounds
Ooh.
good. You had me at whiskey.
You have my attention.
Yeah. I'll send you that.
CSM Hammond's whiskey cake.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Hammond would definitely have the whiskey cake recipe.
I'll get Angie to throw in her chicken pot pie recipe.
Love me
That
some
is-
chicken pot pie.
We'd have to
Ah.
nickname all the things something cryptid related.
Oh yeah, or book related.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
Tombstone can dig up some Aussie things as well.
Heck
Hey,
yeah.
Tombstone, throw in some Demis in there, baby. Come on. Throw in some Demis.
Yeti spaghetti.
Well, this comes together. The only thing we're going to be lacking is a cover, so we'll have to figure out a cover for it.
Taylor, that's your partner.
Yeah. I'll put Bigfoot in an apron and chef hat. Give him
There you go.
A Bigfoot,
Carrot,
a
Stephen
Bigfoot
Bishop.
chicken, and a dog man eating.
There we go.
Bigfoot with an apron, cooking over a grill. Dog man standing there with a hamburger and a beer in one hand.
Karen Polson says Steve's Pub and Grub Shepherd's Pie. I can do that.
There you go.
I can do that
This
with
is
the side recipe for Guinness gravy.
dude, this is turning out great, man. Y'all send these recipes in. Bro.
Markland's raspberry
Right.
turnovers.
Hey, you might have a soft spot for turnovers.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
thank
ain't
you,
talking.
Tombstone.
If he's
Thank
saying turnover, he ain't talking about the pastries.
No, he ain't. Yeah,
Mm.
Tombstone said no Vegemite. I promise, Doc. Thank you. He goes,
Yeah.
have any of y'all ever had Vegemite?
No, I have
and
not.
not even had the desire to.
Dude, I
Don't
had
wanna.
some of that once.
Why?
A buddy said, hey, you want to try this? I was like, well, shit, I'll try almost anything once. And I instantly regretted it the moment it hit my freaking taste buds. It
Because
was
it's Vegemite.
Mm,
Literally
was-
nobody says anything good about Vegemite.
dude.
Unless you're Australian.
Even
Horrible.
then, only like 10% of them like it.
It's like a big Scottish breakfast. I mean, the Scots will throw everything on a breakfast plate. There'll be sausage and beans and blood pudding and eggs and anything else they can think of that's left over in the refrigerator. They're
Haggis.
just going to chuck it on the plate. And it's the Scots way of saying there is nothing the rest of the world can do to us that's worse
Dude.
than what we've already done to ourselves.
It's delicious. It's delicious. I've had a full Scottish breakfast. Really nice, Clark. Yeah.
Tombstone says, as an Australian, I apologize for it.
Well, folks, if you've got a recipe you would like included, send it to me at daroberts@daroberts.net, and the composed panel here will help compile it, and we'll pick the recipes that go in there, and
Heck
hopefully,
yeah, man.
we'll have that set up and ready to rock and roll before we hit 5,000
Yeah,
5,000 subs.
Absolutely. Let's get this recipe book cooking, man, because this will be
I'm
something fun.
excited.
It'd be fun for everybody, and it builds cohesion. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
that esprit
We could
de
do a
corps that we
podcast
ask
where
for.
we could do a podcast where we all come on after we take some time and all make a dish from it.
Cowboys 5 Rings was apparently gone when Cowboys, you won an autographed book from me. Pick which book you want and email me at my email. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, what he
Email
said.
me at daroberts@daroberts.net. Tell me which book you want and how would you like it? How would you like it autographed? If you want it made out specifically, just email me. Tell me which one you want, and I'll make that happen.
Yeah, we could do a podcast where we all make something from the cookbook.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ron Yelton says Bigfoot, banjos, and barbecue.
Hey!
Toothaking says the cookbook would make a fun Christmas prezi. There we go.
You could call the that made me think you could call the meat she Bigfoot's barbecue roll.
There we go. Louis Noriega says La Llorona's teardrop soup. It's terrifying and delicious.
But those, I will say with that meat she, it is filling. Like, I don't think Dad even finished his whole roll.
Yes, I did.
You did? Barely.
Your
That
brother
sounds
didn't
really
finish
good.
all his.
Which
I
was
finished all
shocking.
mine.
Kevin would eat the entire fridge if he could.
What happened to Doc?
He
He
stepped off
said
the-
1 second and ran away.
He just vanished.
He went.
He's one of them cryptids. He was there 1 minute and he's gone again.
Doc
I know-
man.
I know what it is. It's getting late and he's got to eat before midnight or he'll turn into a gremlin.
He's the Doc man.
He's a mogwai.
Let's see if he actually shows back up to defend himself.
Bye-bye, baby.
Stephen Bishop says Code Brown. That's what happened. Oh,
There he is.
He has returned.
Hey, I got a title for the book.
okay.
Oh.
The Cryptid Cookery.
Oh, I like that.
That's awesome.
That's perfect.
It just came to me.
That's awesome. We thought you had a Code Brown or something.
No, dude, my back teeth are floating. I'm sorry.
I told everybody that what it was is it's getting late and you have to eat before midnight or you turn into a gremlin.
Isn't it you're not supposed to eat after midnight?
Somebody said, "Oh
You
yeah,
gotta eat before midnight.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I got
yeah.
confused.
Got to eat
I was
before
like,
midnight. Yeah, my thing is how does their stomach know what time it is?
I don't know."
The second movie was, well,
And
what
does-
if they're flying a plane?
And does daylight savings time affect their systems? Are they on Hong
no.
Kong time?
No, they do not.
They're furry little midgets that run around squealing at everything. I don't think logic applies to them.
Okay.
I'm third party.
They
offended,
also
Taylor.
multiply whenever water touches them when there's water in the air. Once again, logic doesn't necessarily apply to the gremlins.
So what you're saying is you got to suspend your disbelief to just
It's
go
a
with it, right?
movie. Yeah, just enjoy the gremlins
There we go.
and how cute Gizmo is. He's so
You know who
cute.
did Gizmo's voice?
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
I
Yep.
didn't know
Really?
that.
Yep.
What?
I didn't know that.
I'm
Showed up.
never gonna look at him
Robbie.
the same again.
See, me and you's right there, man.
That's fair.
I did not know that.
Me and Doc are movie buffs.
You're a freaking movie nerd like me, man. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good day if I know what movie you're talking about.
Folks, we are rapidly approaching the 3-hour mark.
Oh,
We started out the night paying our respects to Kerry Arnold, and again, I want to say that our thoughts and prayers are out to his family and the family of the other victim of the car crash. Just keep Kerry's family in your thoughts and prayers. And it's not this Kerry over here. It was Kerry Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. There was some mix up in that early on, but he's alive and well, obviously. And we're very happy for that. But keep Kerry Arnold's family in your prayers. I want to thank everybody that gave prizes tonight. Krista, awesome. Thank you so much. Robbie, Taylor, thank you guys. Norm, thank you. William Nighthawk and Pink Dahlia, thank you both. Doc, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And make sure you guys reach out. I've posted email addresses in the chat. If you don't have their email, reach out to me. Let me know what prize you won, and I'll make the proper connections. You can contact me at the email address at the bottom of the screen, which is daroberts@daroberts.net. If you haven't done so, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And while you're in the subscribing mood, swing over by the Blondes and Booze podcast. That's on YouTube, and give them a like, share, and subscribe as well, because they are awesome and they've got great content. And if you want to meet them or meet me, we are going to be next weekend at the Fall Into the Supernatural in Lexington, Missouri. There's going to be a great time. A bunch of weirdos out there trying to call in Bigfoot. There's going to be a paranormal experience, which is going to be freaking cool, and I can't wait for that. And, if you want to get a copy of your favorite book, I will be there with everything. And hopefully you'll see you there, or if you maybe come see me at Archon in St. Louis the last weekend of this month. Again, go over to Dark Angel Medical, show them some love, order a great kit because they are the best in the business. Use the code Cryptid25, get 25% off your order. If you guys want to reach out to Robbie and Taylor about getting custom work done, if you didn't get their email address, shoot me an email and I'll forward it to them, and we'll make sure that you guys get hooked up with that. Just some awesome stuff all around. And Norman's cookbook is still available on Amazon, isn't it, Norman?
Still is. Haven't taken it off.
It's called EMT Eats. You can check that out on Amazon, and it's got some really great recipes in it. And just remember, folks, if you're going to go out there hunting, fishing, camping, backpacking, cryptid hunting, remember, cryptids aren't the only dangerous thing in the woods. There are things out there that can and will eat you. If you're going to go out in the woods, have a plan. Make sure somebody knows where you're going and when you're going to be back. Make sure that's someone that's not with you. That way, if you don't return on time, somebody that's not with you knows to start looking for you. Take a medical kit. Learn how to use one. The life you save will more than likely be your own. If you're anywhere in the backcountry, odds are really good. Either your phone's not going to work or 911 is going to be hours away. The life you save could be yours or someone you love. Go over to Dark Angel, get one of those kits. The kit for life guarantee. Use it to save a life. They replenish the kit for free. You cannot beat that. I carried one of their kits as a cop, and I continue to carry one to this day. Simply because that peace of mind is worth far more than you can imagine. It's like having a parachute, folks. It's better to have one and not need it than need one and not have it. Because if you ever need one and you don't have it, you might never need one again. If you're going to go out in the woods, protect yourself. Take something to defend yourself. Take basic survival gear. Take the things that you're going to need to come home. If you don't believe in carrying a firearm, carry a big walking stick. Was the old phrase from Teddy Roosevelt, walk softly and carry a big stick. That does apply. There are things out there that can and will eat you, folks. And they don't care whether you're carrying a firearm or pepper spray. They will hurt you. And that's animals, bears, snakes, mountain lions, the greater North American meth head. They're all out there. Be careful. Come home safe. Come back and see us. We love having you guys joining us. We're seeing some amazing crowds coming at us here. We had almost 160 people in the chat at one time tonight. I am so blessed that you guys are joining us. The crowd gets bigger like every month, and look at how much growth we had just since last Saturday. Like 130 new subscribers. So all of y'all, welcome to the family. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with us. We love having you. I've said it many times, and I'm going to continue to say it. We don't have fans, we have friends. And this is what this is just a bunch of friends hanging out and having a good time and talking about our favorite subjects. Anybody got anything else I want to throw in? Throw it out there.
I want to thank you for asking me to come on here tonight. I had a good time. You all are great. Every one of you. You
are welcome anytime you want to join us. You just let me know.
Thank you.
So I got some for 1980
CNH.
Says, I'm from Southwest Mississippi, lived in Louisiana for many years. I feel you. I'm from Hattiesburg, born in Natchez. I got family and friends down in Slidell and Picayune, so send us some of those good Cajun and Creole recipes.
Heck yeah. Mystery meat gumbo.
Hey, your rat is good. It's fine.
Folks, thank you guys so much. The growth we've had has just been amazing, and I'm so grateful that you guys have joined us. It just seems like it was just a few months ago that we broke 1,000, and now we're well over 3,000. So onward and upward, folks. Just like somebody said in the chat, we are growing from here, and I'm so happy you guys are with us. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys will join us on Saturday night. I will have the show posted in the next day or so. And just an FYI, this Saturday we'll have a show, but the next 2 weeks after that, there will only be a Wednesday night show because I'll be at conventions. If the Wi-Fi is good enough, I may do a live stream from the conventions, but I don't know. So yeah, it's hit or miss with hotel Wi-Fi, as Doc can tell you. The Wi-Fi might come in by dog sled or smoke signal or something like
Pony
that.
Express.
Pony Express. So if I've got good Wi-Fi, I'll try to live stream something from those events. So this Saturday we'll have a show. The following 2 weeks is just going to be Wednesday shows. Then we'll have 1 week where we'll have a Saturday show. Then the following weekend I might have another show. Here in Springfield, it's called Gaming Arts Media Expo. So we've got a bunch of shows coming up. We're booking more. Folks, stories are journeys that we take together. And I am so thrilled and proud that you guys have come along on this journey with us. Let's see where it takes us next. And let's get those recipe submissions in and see what we can do with what was the name of it there, Doc?
Cryptid Cookery.
Cryptid Cookery. We're going to make that happen. Pink Dolly says, please go to Barton Nunnally's new channel. Yes, go over there and show him some love as well. We've got people that have joined us from Europe, from Australia, just getting people from all over the world. There was somebody in the chat earlier from the Philippines. I am so thrilled that people from all over the world are joining us. And big thank you, big shout out to the moderators. You guys did an amazing job tonight, and you do a great job every night. Thank you guys so much. And if you haven't had a chance to check out my Patreon community at patreon.com/DARobertsAuthor, you'll get advanced warning about books to come. You'll have input on some of the books, as well as help pick covers and things like that. And the Patreon community really goes a long way to help continue getting these books out as fast as I'm getting them out. So thank you guys so much. We will see you guys on Saturday night, and bless each and every one of you. And remember, prayers for Kerry Arnold and his family. And again, thank you all so much. Love you guys, each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much. We will see you guys on Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Night all.
Night.
Thank you for joining us. Catch us again Wednesdays and Saturdays on DAX Machina. A special thanks to all our channel members and Patreon supporters. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.